Facebook.com/Dixie State Athletics for the triple cast as the Dixie State men's basketball team goes for win number 12 consecutively. The Trailblazers 17-6 overall, 14-2 in the Pac West, and right now controlling their own destiny to try to win the Pac West Conference and head into the tournament as the number 1 seed. But the Trailblazers right now leading this thing by just about a game over California Baptist as the Lancers emerged victorious over Chaminade the other night. And Dixie State will go for win number 12, hosting Hawai'i Pacific tonight. The Sharks come into tonight's All right, apologize for stopping on the TV side. If you're listening in already, we're having some difficulties on the radio side, so we're going to step away for just a second. Back in the truck, you can keep it here. Keep your cameras here. We're having some trouble getting on the air on the radio side, so we're just going to step away and try to correct these issues and make sure that we're fully on the air in the triple cast. The Dixie State Hawai'i Pacific coming at you. Hang tight for just a minute. We'll have another short pregame as soon as this thing we get this thing figured out. Hey, so what, do we know what's going on or what?
A 6-foot senior guard from St. George, Utah, number 10, Landon Sinister. A 6'5" senior forward from Cedar City, Utah, number 20, Kyler.
The triple cast going TV, radio, internet. Garrett Segler, Devin Dixon with you in a very, very short Intermountain Sports Medicine pregame show as we are about set to tip off. Hawaii Pacific 14-11 overall, 9-8 in Pac West play, and Dixie State 17-6 overall, 14-2 in the Pac West, trying to make it 12 straight. We bring in Devin Dixon on the broadcast tonight for some quick Camping World keys to the game, as well as some combined McMullen League Group coaches' comments as well. Dev, take it away.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for Dixie State tonight, getting their transition offense. They're going to want to switch up to multiple defenses and play team basketball. The reason they've won 11 straight, very unselfish. Different guys, different nights have really led this team in one statistical category or another. And then obviously they've got to do a good job on closing out and guarding the three-point line. This is another team, at HPU, that likes to shoot the triple. They got to box out. That's going to be real important, try to rebound and run. So it's going to be fun. I mean, we'll see if Dixie State can hold this potent HPU offense down. They average 46% from the field and almost 38% from the three-point line. And they have the Pac West leading scorer, Carrick. He's averaging 21 points a game, and Nishka Frederico. So this is a guy that can score 21 a game, but he's also double digits in rebounding per game at 10.3 rebounds per game, one of the premier players in the Pac West Conference.
Absolutely. These two teams met up in Honolulu a couple of weeks ago. In fact, exactly 2 weeks ago tonight. And Dixie State emerged victorious in that one, 71-65, in a game that the Sharks gave Dixie State all they could handle and a little bit more. The Trailblazers won that game to have a two-game Hawaii sweep with the win also over Chaminade. Interestingly enough, Brandon Simister went for about 20 points each of those nights, and it was Nishka Federico who had a big night a couple of nights before against Dominican, but a poor shooting night against Dixie State that night that he was awarded Pac West Player of the Week. It'll be interesting to see if Dixie State and Brandon Simister had a little chip on their shoulder after a game like that. Dixie State wins the opening tip. We'll give you some Sky Mountain Golf Course starting lineups as we get set, as the Trailblazers are moving right to left across your radio dial here in the first half. Dixie State to Zach Hunter, left side, and he'll force it in with the left hand. He gets the first bucket to go.
Yeah, some early offense. That was not the case last time out. A week ago today, a really slow first half start against Hawaii Hilo, but then blowing them out in the second half.
Hawaii Pacific with its first possession of the night. Jonathan Jansen hands off to Federico. Federico finding Vering. Vering to the near side and Bettis. Bettis back to Jansen. Inside, now looking for Vering. Vering catches, spins, shoots it in from the left side.
Vering, big physical player. He's a guy that can do a little bit of everything, showing you an active post play right there and goes to the little fadeaway jumper. And he has range out to the three-point line, Carrick.
Game tied at 2. Dixie State inside to Trevor Hill. He'll force up a shot, misses, and a whistle rings out. There's going to be a foul against Isaiah Clark trying to get position inside. 19:07 to play in the first. Game tied at 2. And now let's get you your starters for Hawaii Pacific. Darnell Bettis, David Rowland, Spencer Vering, Jonathan Jansen, and Nishka Federico.
Yeah, traditional starting five we've seen most of the year for the Trailblazers. They have 6 seniors on this team, and all 5 starting except for Daylor Youngblood tonight.
Hawaii Pacific 3 ball the other way. Rollins can't get it to go. And a foul called against Federico, fighting for the rebound with Isaiah Clark. And I mean, that's big. That's a foul in the first minute of the game. You don't want to think about foul trouble yet, but in the term of a 40-minute game. Pick up a foul in the first minute could spell trouble. Game tied at 2, 18:40 to play in the first. Trevor slashes to the free throw line, kicks to the left corner. Kyler Nielsen pump fake behind the back dribble, driving the end line. Now stops, hands off to Zach. Left-handed shot, same spot, couldn't get it to go. Federico the rebound. Here comes HPU. Federico into the corner. Rollins skipping it back to Federico. Federico to Vering. Now to Jansen. 15 to shoot. Roland has it tipped out of his hands and out of bounds. There's a pass to Federico. Then Trevor tipped it out of his hands and out of bounds. 9 seconds to shoot for HPU. He'll have to inbound just across the half-court stripe with 9 to get a shot off. Quick pass into Bettis. Guarded by Simister, one-on-one. Dixie State in a man-to-man defense right now. Whipping it inside Jansen, 3 to shoot, ducking in, and he'll score with Zach Hunter right in his face. 4-2 HPU lead.
Yeah, really strong move by Jonathan Jansen. You know, he's a pick-and-pop guy, but that was a nice low-post move and working through some contact.
And Dixie State will turn it over. Tried to go inside to Clark. Federico, took it away. And a 4-2 HPU lead. And the Sharks trying to build on that advantage with 17:40 to play in the first and possession. It'll be Bettis. Bouncing to Rollins, right corner, dribbles to the right elbow, leaves for Vering, 3-ball straight away, dies on the back iron. Trevor Hill the rebound.
What he does, Trev can do a little bit of everything.
Trev, pass ahead to Kyler Nielsen, absorbing contact. He'll score with a foul with the left hand.
Yeah, Trevor, one of the top 20 rebounders in the Pac-West Conference. He's one of the top assist guys in the Pac-West Conference. He's top 15 in scoring in the Pac-West Conference. That time, rebounding and running, getting out, and then finding Kyler Nielsen, who solid, strong move on that left side with the right hand off the window, and the harm came, and chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Nielsen will have one more free throw. He swishes it home. Fabulous Freddy's free throw, and Dixie State back up on top, 5-4 on the three-point play by Kyler Nielsen. Simister going to pick up Bettis full court with a 5-4 Dixie State lead. 17-18 to play. Bettis gets away from him, drives to the end line, now brings it right back out. Burning 10 seconds off the shot clock. Bettis, three-point land straight away. Angling to the right. Find Jansen. Shot clock down to 12. Now under 10 at 9. Bettis bouncing inside Jansen. Left block working on Hunter, and he can't get it to go. But he got Zach to bite on a little fake. And Zach bumped into him. And a foul will go against Hunter.
He tried to chest up and give him a bump, but he had already turned to face, so he mistimed the bump. He should have done a little bit earlier. By the time he turned to face, it looked like he was just trying to give him a chest bump like they were buddies or something.
First free throw good. Game is tied at 5. Jansen, 71% free throw shooter on the season. Second one rims out. Isaiah Clark goes up strong, gets the rebound.
Hey, Haynes right now is checked in. What's up with his shorts, man? He's got them tucked up high. I wonder if it helps him movement. I've never seen anybody tuck his shorts up like that in college basketball here inside the Burns Arena. Have you, Carrick?
Well, John Stockton shorts.
No, those are not even close.
Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. Is that going to go against? Wow, it's going to go against Trevor. I thought it might be Zach. Bettis is smiling, but he's laughing. He knows that he's going to win a Grammy Award for that performance. Threw himself to the ground. He's smiling about it after. Trev did extend the arm.
He did.
But not a lot of contact.
Yep, just enough to sell it.
16:30 to play in the first. Game tied at 5. And HPU the possession. Bettis to the far side, and Gordon Haynes into the corner. Jansen is trapped. Passes out of it. 3-ball Federico on the way. Rims in and out. Ball tipped around, and it falls into the hands of Christensen. His shot blocked by Isaiah Clark. Trev comes down with it. Here comes Dixie State. Trevor into the lane, over the top, and in. No, another offensive foul. Going to go against Trevor Hill, and he'll pick up 2 quick fouls. He's going to have to come out of this one.
And Coach Judkins have to go to the bench. Doug Price, Taylor Youngblood, check back in. Check it out for our television audience. He was there. He was set.
Yeah.
Trev was leaning into it there, coming out of that spin move. And Trev, that one clearly was
for sure
an offensive
and
foul.
Trev knew it, too. You could tell.
Yep.
Walking back to the bench. And that's big. Trevor Hill, 2 fouls.
Score 15.6. And probably see him again later in the half, but you never know how Coach Judkins will play that out.
Bettis rises for a 3, right corner, too strong, but offensive rebound at Jansen. And the Sharks will reset. Gordon Haynes Dancing inside Christensen. One more pass to Federico. Dixie State collapses on it. Dub Price to steal. Game tied at 5. Federico will tip a Brandon Simister pass out of bounds, and that'll bring us to the under-16 media. 15:32 to play in the first. Game tied at 5. We take a 60-second timeout. Come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
.32 to play. Dixie State and Hawaii Pacific tied at 5 in a very integral matchup inside the Pac-West Conference. Dixie State trying to keep a lock on that first place spot. Hawaii Pacific just trying to play their way into the tournament.
Yeah, they're on the outside looking in. That's a dangerous team. That's a hungry team.
Darnell Bettis called for a foul, bumping Brandon Simister before the ball is even inbounded. And now here we go. Ball back in play. Dub Price holding right wing. Bouncing into Daylor Youngblood. Youngblood backing in on Bettis, and he traveled. Easy call. Shuffle the feet. Turnover. Back to Hawaii Pacific. Full court pressure shown by Dixie State. Simister will pick up Bettis and is screened by Jansen. 15:15 to go. Bettis stumbling, regains, hands off to Christensen. Now over to Gordon Haynes, left corner. 15:05 in the game clock, 12 on the shot clock. Gordon Haynes one-on-one with Youngblood, kicking to Bettis. Bettis leaves for Isovic. Just checked in. Spinning to the right, floater with the right hand, in and out. Julian Decree, the rebound, goes up strong and gets it.
Yeah,
Isovic, excuse me.
That's huge key tonight, rebounding.
Dub Price, spin, and a fall-away jumper in the lane. He buries it. 7-5, Dixie State lead by 2.
And that's Dub's game. More of an inside-out player. He likes to go inside. He's a physical guy. Turn around, take the contact, fade away, and soft touch.
Jansen, deep three straight away to answer it. Rims out. Decree, another rebound for Dixie State. Hand off to Simister. Brandon crossing over to the left, gets into the paint, leaves for Dub. Another 15-foot jumper. Too strong air ball. Julian Decree, offensive rebound. 20 to shoot. Decree backing in on Christian. Gets under and a wraparound reverse from left to right. He scores it. Timeout taken by Hawaii Pacific. 9-5 Dixie State lead.
Well, Decree is an exciting offensive player. He covers so much ground. That was a huge drop step to go to the reverse. He had a little English off the window. Unbelievable move right there. Wrap around and then softly finish.
Teammates will hear about that one for a while. 9-5 Dixie State the lead. 14-16 to play here in the first half. Timeouts brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. We'll keep it right here during the 30-second timeout. The Trailblazers with back-to-back buckets take a 4-point lead.
Yeah, nice start now, 9-5 lead. Dixie State is clinched. They're now in the top 25 in the rankings. They were number 4 in the D2 Western Regional rankings that came out this week. Cal Baptist is clinched the Pac-West Conference berth. So is Point Loma and Azusa Pacific. So there's 2 spots left. Concordia and Art U right now have the inside track, but Chaminade and Hawaii Pacific are both 9-8, just a little bit behind with about 4 games to play for everybody.
14-10 to play. Hawaii Pacific with possession. Isovic, left wing 3. He'll spot up and bury it. 9-8 Dixie State lead. 14 minutes to go.
A lot of shooters on this team. Shoot about 38% as a team on the season from downtown. It's a good number.
Youngblood trying to get it inside to Decree, and it's stolen by Federico. Federico holding left wing. Swinging it into the corner. Christensen, an extra dribble. 3 ball on the way. Short air ball tapped out of bounds. Dixie State arguing that it went off of Isovic. Referee agrees. Trailblazers will get it back. 13:38 to go. 9-8, Dixie State the lead. Jonathan Jansen will check back in for Hawaii Pacific. And Christensen will get a rest. Sinister across the timeline. Fake the handoff to Dub Price. Drive inside past the end line to Quincy. One more pass. Taylor Youngblood. 3-ball straight away is short. Looked like it was going to be good. Just couldn't quite crawl over the rim. Here comes Federico and HPU to Jansen. And a Bettis, and they'll reset. 20 to shoot. Calls out the play. 9-8, Dixie State lead. Kind of a low-scoring first half so far if you're just joining us. 13-10 remaining. Federico, one-on-one with Sinister. Stolen away. And here comes Dixie State. Quincy Matthews. Stopped on the end line. Gives to Dub Price. Dub got to find somebody. We'll bounce it inside Matthews. Right back out to Dub. Left corner. 3 on the way. Bang!
I like that play by Dub. He was very patient. Juddy wanted him to move it, so he entered it in. Quincy got the double team, felt it, quickly gave it back out, and you catch in rhythm. And Dub now 2 for 3 to start this game. Quick 5 points off the bench.
Game's leading scorer is Dub Price. HPU the other way will lob inside looking for Varing. And a whistle and a foul going to come out late. And that's going to be Dupree picking up the foul. It'll be his first, fourth team foul.
I thought Julian went straight up, but maybe at the end he leans into it. I thought he's entitled to go straight up. That shouldn't have been a foul, I don't think, right there. But the official thought there was a little bit of contact from Julian Dupree. He didn't get too excited about it. It's only his first, but he did kind of indicate to the officials, hey, I was straight up.
Spencer Varing makes the first free throw. 12-9, Dixie State lead. 12:31 to play in the first. Varing, a 73% free throw shooter on the season. Now 23 of 31. And he'll have one more.
He was in foul trouble when the Dixie State Trailblazers beat HPU 2 weeks ago by 3 points, 75-72. So I expect him to stay out of foul trouble tonight and have a little bit more of an impact on this game, which could be a huge advantage for the Sharks.
12:22 to go. 12-10 Dixie State lead. Quincy Matthews drives inside, bounces for Dub. Dub back out to Q. Q holds on the right wing. Now Daylor. D-Lo goes straight away. 10 to shoot. Crossing over to the left, and he's bumped by Varing. And Varing doesn't like it.
Just when we were talking about foul trouble, now he's got 2 personal fouls. And he'll have to take a seat for a little bit here.
Definitely some contact. Failed to mention Wade Miller checked in during those free throws. We'll look to see if they'll try to get Wade an early touch. Dangerous, yeah.
Nickname's Bubba, everybody, so if we refer to him as Bubba, you'll know we're talking about Miller.
Now it's inside Julian Dupree. Goes right at Jansen, and he'll score. He knows exactly what he wants to do. 4 points for Julian.
Yeah, they're bringing him along nicely. First year with the team, and early on he was not playing assignment defense, was gambling a little bit. Now he's starting to get more and more comfortable, paying big dividends inside.
Rollins splits a couple of defenders, right elbow jumper, kind of pushed it a little bit. Ball tapped out. Dupree going to hustle and chase it down. Pass ahead to Quincy Matthews. Quincy has it tapped out of his hands. And is it a foul? Yes, a foul against Hawaii Pacific. Rollins.
Q knows it's media timeout. He's already on the bench. But I like this play. Q giving it back outside to Dub. That 3 got him going, and they pushed the lead up 14-10. A chance for more after a break. And the fans here got to like the energy in the gym right now as Juddy's going to do a little chalk talk on the whiteboard.
11:34 to go. Dixie State by 4. Let's take, how about just a 30-second timeout? Only a 30. Don't want to miss any of the action. Come right back to the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where the cats go on vacation? New York.
11:34 to go in the first. Dixie State a 14-10 lead, but it has been anything but easy. Back and forth we go. Inside the Burns Arena, Trailblazers 6 of 10 for the field, 60%, 1 of 2 from the outside. Take a quick look at the rebounds. Brought to you by Red Rock Real Estate. 8-6 advantage for Dixie State. although HPU with 3-1 advantage on the offensive glass. Trailblazers with possession out of the timeout.
I think a good number, too, tonight. Didn't talk about this in the pregame show, but turnovers. If Dixie State can keep below 10 turnovers here at home, usually always put themselves in a position to win a basketball game.
And ball inbounded. Youngblood to Wade Miller. His first touch on the right wing. Zach Hunter is checked back into this game, sets a screen for Wade, and then catches a pass, and they turn it over.
Talking
Wade,
about turnovers, there's 5 already, and that's why I made that point.
Yeah.
And now 6. So Dixie State a little bit careless with the basketball. They're going to have to clean it up if they want to stick around, 10-12 for the game.
Tried to go a little pick and roll on the outside, and Zach just wasn't in a position to try to catch Wade's pass, and turnover number 6.
I don't know if we'll see Trev again in the half or not. We've seen Juddy sometimes let guys go with 2 fouls, sometimes not.
Federico left corner jumper, deep 2, air ball. Dupree the rebound for Dixie State, hands off to Youngblood. Pushes across the timeline quickly, 10:55 to go. Dixie State a 14-10 lead. Whistle rings out away from the ball. And this will go against Jansen. Picking up the foul, that'll be his first. Holding Dupree as he tried to get open inside. Simister checks back in. Kyler Nielsen will check back in. Youngblood and Quincy Matthews going to get a breather, and they're congratulated by everybody on their way back. Good defense by each and their spell on the floor. Quick pass inside to Wade Miller. Wade top of the key for Kyler. Kyler hands off to Brandon Simister. He became the all-time three-point made leader against Hawaii Hilo last week. He's yet to attempt one. There's one left wing. Too strong. Tried to draw a foul as well. Zach Hunter fighting for the rebound. Can't get it. Taps that out of bounds. Hawaii Pacific possession.
Yeah, that one forced. Shot clock winding down a little bit.
Yeah.
Had to try to leap into a leaner there, just a little bit too strong. We've seen him make those on occasion, but certainly not as good as when he sat and squared to the basket.
10:30 to play in the first, almost halfway through the first frame of basketball. 14-10, Dixie State. A 4-point, a 2-bucket advantage. Rollins for HPU drives inside, leaves for Jansen. Baseline right side jumper is too strong. Kyler Nielsen taps the ball, goes to Federico. He's falling out of bounds, tries to throw it off of Kyler, and it goes right back to Dixie State. Nielsen in transition, off the window and in.
There you go, rebounding and run, get out in transition. HPU having a little trouble stopping that. They got to speed it up. I think if the Tippo is a little bit quicker, huge advantage for the Trailblazers, Carrick.
9:50 to play in the first. Gordon Haynes back into the game. He turns it over. Simister the steal. 2-on-1 here. Bouncing inside. Zach off the window. No. Are we going to get a blocking foul or an offensive foul? Zach's going to have free throws.
Yeah, it's a block. He was not set. It kind of just the right amount of time, as patient as Brandon Simister could be. Maybe could have waited even a little longer. He passed it right about the 3-point line. And unfortunately for the Sharks, not able to set himself up there. You kind of felt like that's where Simmons was going. He's his only guy out in front. And Hunter, nice job of taking that contact.
Misses the first free throw. That was Tavon Tarpley, the foul. He tried to draw a charge on the Kyler Nielsen lay-in the other time down the floor as well. No whistle rang out. Isaiah Clark up off the bench. He'll check in. Zach will have one more free throw on the way. He gets it.
Yeah, 70% free throw shooter. Zach hasn't taken a lot of threes this year. 4 of 11, 36% in that department, but 48% from the field. He shot it really good from the field. That 16-18 mid-range jumper is really his bread and butter.
17-10, Dixie State a 7-point advantage. 9:35 to play in the first. Federico to Jansen. Inside for Tarpley. Outside, Gordon Haynes' 3-ball is no good. Wade Miller comes down with a rebound that was tapped around by about 5 other guys. And here comes Dixie State. Simister hesitates, drives inside, passes the inline to Kyler. No, stolen by Tarpley, but he stepped out of bounds.
Pretty good anticipation by Tarpley there. I didn't even see him, and then he was like, whoop, down there at the baseline to get a deflection out of bounds.
9:15 remaining in the first. In a 17-10 Dixie State lead. Simister baseline left side holding. Will lob out to Kyler. And he chases it back across the timeline. He's picked up by Federico.
Well, HPU averages 70 points a game. Right now they've got just 10. We're over halfway through this first half.
Hand off to Simister, moving from right to left around the horn. Shot disrupted by Federico, but there's Clark with a tip putback on the bucket.
Well, it was smart not to come down with it. I don't think he had much room to land. Just tips it up and in.
Tarpley the other way. 17-foot jumper for HPU. Rims out. Zach Hunter the rebound for Dixie State. 19-10. Trailblazers by 9. Can they make it double digits? Simister, free throw line jumper, kind of forced it. pretty early in the shot clock. HPU the rebound to Federico.
Yeah, HPU forced, and then Sims forced right back. Could have probably got a better shot on both ends.
8:35 to go. Tarpley. Inside, Isevic can't get it to go. Tapped around, Federico puts a shot up, he missed. But he'll get free throws. Clark bounces the ball inside in frustration, and that's going to go against Zach Hunter, and that's number 2 against Zach. Quincy Matthews up off the bench to check in after this first free throw.
Yep, running a little play to get Sims free, and Sims, he's among the trees there, couldn't get enough on it, but Clark with the put back. And out the other end, haven't really got going yet.
Yeah, Federico makes the first free throw, and that's actually his first point of the night.
Kid that averages 21, leads the Pac-West in scoring. My first look at him this year, he's got a little bit of an unorthodox release on that three we shot earlier and that free throw, but obviously he's just got a scorer's mentality.
Misses the second short. Rebound to Quincy Matthews, who just checked in for Zach Hunter. Hands off to Simister. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Brandon leaving for Dub, left wing. Dub looking at a cue, nothing there. Path blocked. He'll give to Isaiah Clark, right back to Dub. Hesitates, drives inside, bounces inside for Quincy, and he threw it off of his feet and out of bounds. Turnover. 8:05 to go. A couple of ticks away from the media timeout. 19-11 Dixie State lead. Dub Price and Kyler Nielsen still tied for your team lead points. In fact, game high points at 5 points each. Bettis holding right wing. Into the corner, Federico. Federico hanging, then passes over to Christensen and quickly to Isevic. Isevic to Varing, pump fake, and then he'll pop a three. No, deep two straight away, and he hits it. 19-13, Dixie State lead trimmed through 6. 7:34 to go. Dixie State needs a basket here. Brandon drives inside, shot blocked by Varing out of bounds, and that'll bring us to the under 8 media timeout. 7:30 to play. Dixie State 19, Hawaii Pacific 13. 60-second timeout right back at the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State a 19-13 lead, 7:30 to play. We take a quick look at your Findlay Subaru stats. Dixie State 50% from the field, 8 of 16, 5 assists on those 8 made baskets, but 7 turnovers. Hawaii Pacific 22% from the field.
Yeah, Trev's been sitting this entire first half, basically. He played just a couple of minutes before he got his 2 quick fouls. And
Quincy Matthews inside for Isaiah Clark. Good dish and a 2-hand flush for Clark. 21-13, Dixie State lead.
HPU wants a charge, and their coach just about blew a gasket down there. He was right there in the official's ear. He thought that was a charge on the Trailblazers. No call, and a 2-hand flush.
Coach Borderbrogi way out of his coaching box. Dixie State an 8-point lead with 7:03 to go. Federico for Varing, a 3 from the right wing. Short, Kyler Nielsen the rebound, and he's shoved by Isevic. No call. Here comes Dixie State. That's a dangerous move inside. Simister pops a Team Diato 3, buries it.
Yeah, nice job there. That's the first time Sims has got his feet set in rhythm. The other 2 he'd had to force it, and he's going to stack one onto the record books.
And Coach Winters inside pleading with the official to say, hey, you've got to see those kind of plays, as Isevic shoved Kyler Nielsen under the basket, and there was no whistle, but how about Isaiah Clark getting the flush and then a 3 for Brandon Simister to put Dixie State up by 11, 24-13. It's 30-second timeout. We keep it right here. 6:48 to play in the first. Simister's first bucket of the night. He's got 3, and Dixie State leads it 24-13 on the heels of a 12-3 run over the last 5 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah, nice job, really. Without your leading scorer, Trevor Hill, on the bench, saddled in foul trouble. You push that lead up to the largest of the night. And look at the defensive effort, continuously getting stops on the defensive end right now. Coach Judkins has got to appreciate the effort from his guys on that end of the floor. Now the offense is starting to come along a little bit more.
24-13, Dixie State the lead. HBU the possession, 6:35 to play. Bettis leads for Varing. Pump fake at the free throw line. Outside Isevic. Isevic with 12 to shoot. Angling right, now crosses back over left. Carried it, no whistle. Swinging it over to Bettis with 5 and 4 and 3. 3 balls straight away. Too strong. Ball tapped out. Quincy Matthews tumbled over. But taps it over to Dub Price. He lays it up in the bucket. And he is fouled. He'll get 2 free throws.
It's physical.
But a whole group of bodies on the floor on the way back up with about 5 guys hit the deck on the way up the floor.
Quincy, first of all, gets a nice little tip, and then Kyler goes and gets it. He's going to hit the ground, and then you're going to see Doug get a hard foul at the rim. That was a scramble, a frantic scramble that worked out well for the Trailblazers.
Scene from a war movie or something out there.
We'll let him play, and as a player, you don't mind that.
Oh, in a fast break situation, you absolutely want that play to keep going as well. That's absolutely the right call to keep the whistle out of your mouth until you get down under the basket. Dub misses the first free throw. 24-13. The foul was called against Varing, which was his 3rd, and Dub's second free throw rolls around and falls through. 25-13. Dixie State by 12. 6:08 to go.
Trailblazers shooting 55% from the field, 50% from downtown, and 60% now, 3 of 5 from the foul line after Dub split those 2.
Federico to Tarpley. Leaves for Bettis. Kills the dribble in the paint. Got to find somebody. Finds Tarpley right wing. Steps into a 3. Banked it, but it rims out. And a whistle and a foul in pursuit of the rebound is going to go against Dixie State and Kyler Nielsen. It'll be 1-1 for the Sharks. It'll be Isevic.
Right now, 10% from downtown. Tarpley missed another 3. They're now 1 for 10 in this first half so far. On the road, having trouble from downtown.
Isevic misses the front end. Quincy Matthews the rebound. 25-13. Dixie State leading by 12. 5:43 to go. Simister inside to Clark. Clark, a little out of control, regains and floats and scores with the left.
Yeah, nice job going back to that baby left-hand hook with soft finish about 6 feet out.
27-13. Dixie State lead is 14. 5:28 to play.
I like how
Isaiah Clark a steal, and Bettis is going to foul him on the way back up the floor. That should be a clear path. That should be a clear path foul and free throws for Dixie State. They made no play on the ball. Are they going to get referees together and discuss it? They're not going to.
Well, I think he fouled him early and then made sure the official maybe got his attention by grabbing him.
Yeah.
So the foul might have been called before he was actually out in front. That's my best guess because I don't think they're granting clear path here. Just really kind of lazy by Bettis. Didn't want to get back and try to race ahead and just grabbed him. But I think maybe the whistle came before that. Not sure. It was a bang-bang play right in front of us.
Clark makes the first free throw. Maybe
lost in all that, though, is the sensational defensive effort by the big guy. He's out guarding at the three-point line and getting a deflection and a go. He's even with him when he does grab the waistline. But it was close. It was close.
And maybe they're saying that there was one more defender down the floor, too, and so it wasn't necessarily a clear path to the basket. Who knows? Clark makes both free throws. Dixie State lead is stretched to 16, 29-13, and HPU going to take a timeout. 5:24 to go. It's a 30-second timeout. Why don't we take this one? 29-13, 5:24 to go, 30-second timeout, and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
/Alex
5:24 to go. Dixie State a 29-13 lead, a game-high lead of 16 points. And how about this? As you mentioned, Hawaii Pacific, a team averaging 76 points per game, Devin, is being held to 13 points through the first 15 minutes of the game.
You know, they're on lockdown defensively. There's been an emphasis and still shooting the ball above 50%. So everything going right in the first half for Dixie State.
Federico inside to Jansen. Jansen working on Dub Price, kicks it to Tarpley. Tarpley drives inside, then leads for Jansen. Little bunny at the rim, can't get it to go. Isaiah Clark the rebound. Clark is really hustling right now. And Dixie State leading 29-13. Simister, right elbow jumper is stripped away. Ball is loose on the way back up the floor. Price chases it back down to Simister. And here comes Dixie State. Back and forth we go. Pass ahead to Kyler, runner in the lane. Off the window, no. Trying for his own rebound. Quincy comes down with it. His shot, no. Ball tapped around. Quincy again, left hand. Layup is good.
Johnny like it. Johnny likes it. He's doing a little stomp, stomp, stomp right in front of us. Hitting the glass. Quincy Matthews with the putback.
HPU 4 of 22 for the field, 18% clip. And Dixie State an 18-point lead. And I don't know if I would call that a stomp. He was doing almost a hop, hop, hop with both feet. Federico for three, right wing. Quincy the rebound. Outlet pass to Simister, and Coach Judkins urging them forward.
Q's playing well tonight on the defensive end.
Inside to Kyler, right hand floater, good, and Dixie State leads by 20, 33-13, 3:55 to go until halftime.
There's one of your seniors, Kyler Nelson. Nelson growing up in Cedar City, coming down here and having a fun year. Started the season red hot and continued to play steady all season long. Got sick a couple weeks ago, fought through it. Love the way these kids playing.
Isevic for three, right wing, rims out. Dub Price rebound, hand off to Simister. Simister leaves for Dub. Dub, need a move. Got to find somebody, gives Quincy. Quincy with 19 to shoot. Back to Dub, left side, into the corner, Nielsen. Nielsen to Simister, left wing, guarded by Bettis. Back to Nielsen, and to Clark. Back to Kyler, left wing, 9 to shoot. Step back, 15-footer left side, is short. Quincy coming up, getting the offensive rebound over two defenders. He'll lay it up with the left hand, short, but free throws as he's fouled.
How did he get to that rebound?
Q, no idea.
He's come in and he's been a spark tonight, Kerky. He's been really active, playing some great defense. I don't know how he went over two Sharks and got that board from the baseline. Just out-jumped them.
3:10 to play. Dixie State has stretched the lead to 20, 33-13. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where rocks bleed and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy, where dimples determine destiny and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
Are we there yet?
Yep. We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org. A neighborhood park.
.310 to play. Dixie State a 33-13 lead. It's a 21-3 run over the last 8 minutes and 31 seconds. In fact, you go back, HPU does not have a field goal since an Emil Isevic three-pointer at the 14:07 mark.
Yeah, they've been cold. And the outside shooting, which they rely on now, 1 of 12. It's just not good enough on the road. They're 37, almost 38% three-point shooting team this season. And they haven't got used to the Burns Arena. How much? I don't think I've been to Hawaii Pacific's gym.
Quincy makes both free throws.
Is it a
and
smaller
checking?
gymnasium?
Well, they have the and I apologize for saying that the Blaisdell Center, which is more of an arena field, is stadium-style seating, but they split time between there and Honolulu High School.
Gotcha.
And that's where these two teams played 2 weeks ago, was Honolulu High School, because we played last year when I was there as well. Bettis for Jansen. He'll step into a three straight away and buries it. He says, why not? We only got 13 points this half. Might as well hoist one.
Yeah,
He buries it.
Can't miss them all. Can't miss them all. They needed that. And that'll get them going a little bit. They were in jeopardy getting run out of the building.
And Dub Price, miscommunication with Tarek Cool, and he throws it into the HPU bench.
You hate to say this, but if Dixie State, now with their 9th turnover, cleans those up just a little bit, this would be even more of a lopsided game right now. On the flip side, you could say the same thing about the three-point shooting. If HPU hits 3 or 4 more, they'd still be within striking distance instead of down 19.
2:32 to go in the first. Dixie State a 35-16 lead. Bettis driving to the elbow. And he's going to, are they going to call a foul against Tarek Cool? Oh, boy. Tarek Cool going to pick up the foul, his first. We're going to see another look at it.
Yeah, I understand. I can see that. I mean,
yeah,
he kind of turned back into Tarek, and he was running into him there. It wasn't a ton of contact, but enough to draw the whistle. We've seen a lot more physical plays going called, though.
Certainly have tonight.
But I understand the call.
Absolutely. 35-17, Dixie State. Lead is trimmed to 18. Bettis makes the free throw. Makes the second. 35-18. 17-point lead. 2:20 to play. Dixie State leads by 17, but still 2 minutes to go until halftime. Can't relax here. Decree driving inside. Kicks it to Tarek Cool. One more pass to Dub Price. Right wing three is way off the right side. Federico loses the rebound. No foul inside. Are they going to get, no, a foul against Dixie State. Decree.
Yeah, Julian Decree. Coach Judkins, I don't think you like that call. Hard to see from our angle exactly where it came, but we'll check the replay for our television audience. Little brick there and just a little poke.
Yeah, well, you saw Quincy and Wade clapping after the play, too. That's why I thought the foul was maybe to go against HPU, but they walk it down the other side, and it will be Federico, a pair of free throws. Makes the first, he'll get one more. 35-19, and it's only a 16-point game right now. And Federico makes both.
Dixie State's bench character was lobbying for something to the official during those free throws.
Tarek Cool to Wade Miller. 35-20, just a 15-point game with 1:55 to go. Wade Miller, free throw line jumper, too strong. Federico rebound, and this thing is far from over. See the momentum, feel it swinging the other way just a little bit. Jansen for three, straight away, it's short. Ball tapped out, Decree will save it in. But he stepped out of bounds. It'll be HPU basketball with 1:40 to go. Isaiah Clark up off the bench, he's going to check in for Decree. 35-20, it was a 20-point lead for Dixie State. Been trimmed to 15.
Still, though, if you're Coach Judkins, and hey, we're under 2 minutes first half, you're up 15 at home against a good team that's in the top half of the Pac-West Conference, he would have been happy with the kid's effort.
Bettis driving inside, kills the dribble, leaves for Gordon Haynes. Runner in the lane, it dives on the back iron and falls through, and Dixie State going to take a timeout. 35-22, it's a 13-point game, 1:25 to go until halftime. 30-second timeout. We will keep it right here and remind you that timeouts are brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. How about that? Dixie State builds a 20-point lead and a 9-0 run for the Sharks. In fact, they went up by 22. And a 9-0 run for the Sharks has trimmed this thing back down to 35-22, 1:25 to go until halftime. Your Dixie State can't afford to let off the gas here. You want to try to get a couple more buckets.
Well, I like the job that they've done on Federico.
Yeah.
He's 0 for 3 in this game. He's got all of his 3 points from the free throw line, but he is eating on the glass. He's got 7 boards already in this game and 2 steals. So, but really, that 2 for 14 from the 3-point line, 14%, 22% from the field for HPU. Meanwhile, the Blazers shooting 13 and 26 from the floor, 50%, 40%, 2 of 5 from downtown, and almost 80% at the foul line right now.
Full court pressure for the Sharks. Out of the timeout, Wade Miller passes ahead across the timeline to Quincy Matthews. Matthews threw it away, right to Gordon Haynes. One-on-one with Tarek Cool. Loses it, regains in the corner. Leaves for Bettis. Bettis to Gordon Haynes. Looking inside, Jansen. And this thing has swung a little bit. With 1 minute even to go, 18 on the shot clock. Bettis will angle to the right side, now back to the left. Free throw line spinning to the left. Hang and hit off the window. Wow, what a move. And it's an 11-point game, 11-0 run for the Sharks. with 50 seconds to go.
And that spin away from a double team was terrific, and then the finish was athletic as it comes, and now foul at the other end right there. I thought maybe Quincy Matthews was going to come over, try to double him, but then he spun the other way and was able to finish.
Gordon Haynes picks up the foul, and that will send Tarek Cool to the free throw line for 2 free throws. 44.5 seconds remaining. An 11-point lead. And Cool makes the first free throw. And like you said, you got a double-digit lead against a good team, an upper echelon team in the Pac-West Conference, but you had a 22-point lead. You got to, it's been a definite momentum swing, and that could carry over into the second half if you're not careful. Cool makes both free throws. Simmons will check in.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. Carrick and Dixie made theirs, and now HPU's kind of responded with one of their own. All this happening while, again, if you're just tuning in.
Yeah.
Trevor Hill got 2 quick offensive foul calls and played just about 3 minutes in this game is all, and sat the rest of the half. Now the officials are going to stop it.
The whistle rings out as HPU was letting it roll up the floor. I wondered if they were letting it roll up the floor and the clock started.
Yeah.
So now Dixie State going to use this opportunity to bring some full court pressure down. More of an inbounds play. Federico to inbound under the basket. He will pass ahead to Jansen at the timeline. Jansen will hand back off to Bettis. 40 seconds on the game clock, 26 on the shot clock. Bettis, a 37-24 Dixie State lead. For Federico, dribbles off his foot, regains. To the free throw line, kicks to Jansen, right corner. Jansen into the lane, leaving for Christensen, tapped by a Dixie State player, and Federico comes down with it. Dixie State coaches want to travel, but Brandon Simmons is going to get called for a slap on the arm, and that'll send Federico to the line for 2 free throws.
Isaiah Clark, again, active hands. I think he gets a tip on it first, and then from the backside somewhere reaching, hard to tell from that baseline camera angle exactly where Sims fouled him, because there was 4 or 5 guys right there in the key all bunched up.
Federico makes the first, 37-25 Dixie State lead. And the second. 11-point game again, 26 seconds remaining, and Dixie State will face some full court pressure here, so if they can break the initial press, they'll likely play for one. Sinister, as it's stripped out of his hands, regains, passes over to Nielsen. Few seconds to get it across the timeline. Passes to Sinister. Brandon will rush it across the timeline to Doug Price. Right back to Brandon. Now they'll settle into the offense with 12 seconds remaining. Down to 10. Brandon to Kyler, right wing with 8. Kyler driving inside, loses, regains with 5 to Brandon. Deep 3, right wing with 3. Bang! Brandon Simister buries it, and that will do it. Bettis will hoist a 3-quarter court shot. Not going to count even if it goes. Dixie State a 40-26, 14-point advantage heading into the locker room. Brandon Simister, an exclamation point on what was really a pretty good half of basketball for Dixie State.
Yeah, real balance. Clark had 8, 7 for Nielsen. Sims had 6, so did Dub. I thought, nice lift off the bench from Quincy Matthews on both ends. He had 6 rebounds to go along with 4 points. Everybody chipping in. We know about the depth of this team. Really efficient first half. They shoot at 50% from downtown, 50% from the field, and they lead by 14.
40-26, Dixie State leading it. Let's step away. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, it is your InfoWest halftime report. Break down the first half, give you some Findlay Subaru stats. Later in the halftime report, we'll also take a Herstace Hardware Pac-West scoreboard update for you as well. Trailblazers lead at 40-26 at the half. 3-minute timeout. Right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Fans, on behalf of the DSU Athletic Department, head coaches of Chicken and Dance, Corey and Christie, would like to honor the Dixie Blaze dance team and cheerleaders to express our appreciation for all their dedication and hard work this past year. Let's meet your dance team. The president of the Dixie Blaze is Brooke Marchetti. Sydney Bellman, Ashlyn Blower, Cassie Graff.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Time for the InfoWest halftime report. Dixie State a 40-26 lead at the half. Go check them out, the internet people at InfoWest. Get high-speed internet, web design, tech support, and more. Check out Clean Internet and Speed Burst at Infowest.com. As Devin said in the first half during the broadcast, basketball definitely a game of runs. Dixie State built a 22-point lead, and it was a 9-0 HPU run to cut it back to an 11-point game. And then it was Brandon Simister burying a Team Diato 3 for the right wing just before the first half buzzer to give Dixie State 14-point lead at the half. Let's jump right into it, give you some Findlay Subaru stats inside the InfoWest halftime report.
Yeah, and you look at this first half, and a couple things jump out. That rebounding, Dixie State plus 11 in the rebounding department, 24-13. They were on the offensive end, grabbing 6 and then 18 defensive rebounds. That's huge. Juddy loves that. They were -4 in the turnover department, 10 turnovers. They wanted that for the game, not for the first half, but they were able to overcome that with some hot shooting, 51% as a unit, 14-27 from the floor, 3 of 6, 50% from downtown. And how about this? Good free throw shooting in the first half, 9 for 11, good for 81.8%. Bench points, 16-5, so another huge advantage. We're getting used to seeing that. I thought the bench did an incredible job coming in tonight. And then you had 22-6 advantage points in the paint. So it really felt like Dixie State was able to take advantage of some mismatches like Kyler Nelson, Isaiah Clark, Julian Decree. I think Quincy Matthews on the glass had a couple nice plays where they had some mismatches, able to go get some offensive rebounds, get some putbacks, and that was huge tonight. And that's why they're halfway home with the 14-point edge.
Speaking of some of those plays, let's take a look at some first half highlights, and then we can break this down a little bit more for you afterward here for you TV and internet viewers. We will just describe these to you for your radio listeners. As Dixie State leading 40-26 at the half, and I thought we had those highlights on cue, but apologize for that. We'll just continue here inside the InfoWest half. Here we go. Trevor Hill. Didn't see much of him in the first half, but got an assist there, passing inside to Kyler Nielsen. Now needs only 5 to become the all-time assist leader at Dixie State.
Gonna happen soon. Gonna happen soon. And then there's the wraparound. Julian Decree providing a little offensive energy, some of those low points in the paint in that first half. And then I love this. Q back out to Dub. He had a quick 5 points off the bench. Part of the total of 16 bench points for the Trailblazers. Decree inside again. Really patient on offense on both those low post moves from Julian Decree. Sims a little out of control there. Couldn't get a clean shot, but there's an alley-oop putback. Clark led the team in scoring. He had 8 points in the first half. Kyler had 7 points in the first half. There's another field goal for the senior guard. And then look at that pass from Quincy Matthews. 2-hand throwdown by Clark. Slim rising up and flushing it down.
So good. We got to take a look at it from 2 angles. Clark, how about 3 angles, actually? Clark throwing it down with the 2 hands. As you mentioned, team high 8 points for him. Brandon Simister was a little sluggish, really slow to get started, but buried that 3 from the right wing and then would hit another one later in the half. But how about Isaiah Clark again? And he really kept this team going, was the spark during that run to build a 22-point lead.
Yeah, 3 for 3 from the field, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal for Clark. And then Q again, not once, but yep, twice. Got that left-hand finish that second time.
And those are your first half highlights, and we didn't get to see the Brandon Simister 3 right before the end of the half, but he beat the halftime buzzer with that 3 to go up 40-36. And the Trailblazers, and it's like you said, Devin, I think this is probably where maybe this game should have been, judging by how it started. And then Hawaii Pacific went cold for a little while, and Dixie State a 14-point lead at the half. It'll all be about, like you mentioned, they go into the halftime break. Juddy it was a good first half, but he'll find something to say, hey, we got to do this better and adjust and I want to see this lead grow in the second half and leave no doubt about this one as we get set to go on our last road trip of the season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Chance to win their 12th straight game tonight. The D2 era, the record is 13. They can tie that record on Monday night. They can play again on Monday night, and then 2 more regular season road games. Hey, breaking news real quick. Utah, and if you're recording the dunk contest, you might want to turn your volume down for just a second. Donovan Mitchell got a 50 perfect alley-oop. He is your slam dunk contest winner. Utah Jazz rookie sensation wins it down in LA.
What can't he do?
I don't know.
I mean, he was not even an original.
He was a fill-in for Aaron Gordon.
He wasn't going to be. He was an understudy.
Yeah, I thought it was a rip that he didn't get the invite originally, and then when he got in and now he wins it, he'll probably be back to defend his title again next year.
Goodness gracious. And you talk about a kid that's taking a team on their back and in the running for Rookie of the Year.
I think he's the lead candidate. I really do.
I mean, it's him and Ben Simmons, and then who else? So, wow,
I think
how about that?
Jason Tatum probably in Boston is the other guy that's still in the mix, but he's cooled off a little bit. So is Simmons. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's the first rookie to lead his team to 11-game winning streak and lead his team in scoring. He just passed Wilt Chamberlain for that honor. That's an unbelievable
Anytime
fun
you
fact.
get your name tied to someone like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Dixie State leading at 40-26 at the half. You've heard your Findlay Subaru stats. You got to take a look at the highlights. We broke it down just a little bit for you. We're going to take another break. How about another 3-minute timeout? Check that, make it a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll check out the Hearst States Hardware Pac West scoreboard update. We already gave you a little bit update from the NBA. We'll also take a look around the college basketball as well. 2-minute timeout. InfoWest halftime report marches on the other side.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
Retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. And I appreciated it very much, the attention that was given. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to our set here of Talking Point Live. We're just getting ready to shoot our show, but we thought we'd put out a little bit of a promotion so you know when this is going to be rebroadcast.
Right. You can find us at 9:30,
12:30,
4:30.
Sorry, did I step on you? I'm always stepping on
you. Are.
Tune in and watch me step on Jen Moore.
or attempt to, anyway.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. How about that for you TV and internet viewers? That's a great look inside the production truck, more of a van really. At CEC TV, you've got Dave in there, Marcus in there, James in there. Oh shoot, I'm leaving one out. There she is, right there. Name escapes my mind. I can't ever remember anybody. I apologize for that. But what a great look inside the van to get to see what's
James doing. James, what are you doing
James
over there?
is just standing in there.
He's just telling everybody what to do, right?
Telling everybody what to do. But welcome back inside the InfoWest halftime report. I got to learn not to call everybody by name if I don't know everybody's name in the truck. So my apologies for that. But Dixie State a 40-26 lead. And the Trailblazers going to try to get their 12th straight win tonight and move on to try to wrap things up in the Pac West Conference with 2 games on the road. But first, actually check that. We got a senior night on Monday, too.
Right.
So I'm getting ahead of myself. We got Holy Names on Monday.
And you know what?
And then off of the road.
I was talking to Trev earlier this week. He came on ESPN radio during the drive, and we were talking a little bit about senior night. And he said, you know what? I'm probably going to get a little emotional. He's like, it's all right because Juddy gets emotional every year. And, you know, for Trev, 4 years here. And we were talking a little bit about some of the fun times he's had. And the one thing that stood out is, you know, Devin, he said, every year we've been one and done in the tournament. We're not going to let that happen again this season. That's been kind of a hard pill to swallow. And now in the top 25 in the rankings and number 4 in that Western Regional poll that was released, and that's kind of an important one. Obviously, that's what gets you seeded into the tournament. And, you know, this team's going to have a bye for the Pac-West Conference Tournament, and we're going to be ready to go. It's going to be a fun month of March once the regular season ends. Hopefully a lot of playoff basketball left. And this six senior classmen, Kyler Nelson, Dale Youngblood, Trevor Hill, Zach Hunter, and Brandon Simister, these guys have left their mark on the Dixie State program, to say the very least. Isaiah Clark, the 6th. Don't want to leave anybody out.
Aaron Hakoda. That's the final person in the truck. Did not remember her name. It got it back to me. So that's who's in the truck with all the guys tonight, keeping them in line in there. So there we go. Now we've made that right. It's time for your Hearst-Ace Hardware Pac-West scoreboard update. We'll also take a look around college basketball as well. No games in progress right now other than our game. Biola hosting Chaminade is just underway in La Mirada. Don't have the score from that one, but 3 games in the books already tonight, some earlier games. Academy of Art goes on the road and destroys NDNU 75-44. They're a team that's on the bubble. They're playing for a Pac-West tournament berth, is Academy of Art. And how about this score? Because we go down to play Point Loma next weekend. Point Loma 104-53 over Hawaii Hilo. California Baptist 82-59 winners over Fresno Pacific.
Yeah, that Point Loma team, that's one of the 2 Dixie State losses. That was a home loss. The other one was at Cal Baptist. Just 2 losses this year, riding this win streak, and probably get a chance at revenge at both of them before the postseason. You probably going to see Pac-West Cal Bap in the tournament, and you got Point Loma, like you just alluded to in the regular season down there. So it's going to be fun. There's going to be some good matchups coming up for this Trailblazer team. But I like the chances. I like the depth of this team. I've been high on the depth of this team all season long, and tonight has been no difference. I mean, great energy off the bench from Quincy Matthews, Dub Price. I really like the way those guys, and even Julian Decree came in, a couple buckets there. A lot of instant production on the floor. And Juddy, if you notice, he really rode that bench. I mean, when you look at minutes played in that first half, Carrick, you know, Simister played 16 and Kyler Nelson played 14, but then Quincy Matthews, Dub Price, 12 and 13. Youngblood played 5, Dupree played 7, Wade Miller played 7. So they played a lot of guys some significant minutes off the bench tonight, and that's made possible because Trevor Hill obviously got into foul trouble. I bet Trev has got to be real careful just to let it come to him here early in the second half because he's going to be fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, he's going to want to get back out there and do some damage. We mentioned it for just a minute during the halftime break. Trevor Hill had 1 assist in the first half, and that puts him 5 assists away from becoming the career assist leader. Inbound pass goes to HPU. We are underway. We'll get you that number again in just a minute. Same starters for both teams. They flip sides. Federico for 3 left wing, too strong. Jansen the rebound for HPU outside to Bettis, and HPU will reset.
Trev is 3rd in the Pac-West going into this game tonight. He's averaging 5 assists per night. Simister, by the way, is 11th in the Pac-West in assists, 3.5 per game.
Jansen to the right side, and Bering. Bering back to Bettis, 8 to shoot. Roland blows past Zach Hunter. Little floater, couldn't get it to go. Kyler Nielsen the rebound for Dixie State. Hand off to Brandon. Ahead to Trevor. Bouncing inside to Zach Hunter. It's knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. Dixie State will maintain the possession. Here it is. Trevor Hill needs 4 assists to tie Kimball Payne as the career assist leader. 5 to set the record, and an offensive foul. It's against Trevor.
Yep. They said he pushed off to go up high on the alley-oop in front of the inbound, right in front of the rim. And Trev just putting his expression up. He can't believe it. Can't believe it. Now he's got to be really careful not to get 4.
18:59 to play. Trevor Hill has played
5 minutes.
5 minutes of this game, and he's picked up 3 offensive fouls in that 5 minutes. Bettis backing in on Trevor. He's going right at him, trying to get that fourth foul. But great defense by Trevor and a missed shot by Bettis. Here comes Brandon Simister. 2-on-1. Has Kyler, dishes inside. Kyler lays it up and in.
And beautiful helper there by Simister. Perfectly timed as usual.
42-26. Dixie State the lead. 18:30 to go in the second. Federico for three, left corner. Too strong. Varing rebound for HPU. Hands off to Federico, and he'll lay it in. 42-28. Dixie State on top. Teams trade buckets. 18:20 to play.
Federico only with 7 now, though. They did a really good job holding him to 5 in the first half. He leads the Pac West at 21.6 a game.
Kyler. To the near side, and Trevor. Inside to Zach Hunter. To Kyler. Right back to Zach. Right block. Double team. Then he will dribble out of it. Hangs. Can't hit. Ball tapped around. It's loose on the floor. Kyler hits the deck. Dives on it. And does he call a timeout? He does.
He grabbed Kyler Nelson's arm. He was fouled there. They didn't call that, but able to still get the grant of the timeout as he was on the floor with possession. Hunter, little body, no call. Watch his arm right here. Kyler only has one arm, and he pushed from the backside. No call, but able to get the timeout.
Great hustle by Kyler Nielsen, and it will stretch to a full on the first coach's called timeout of the half. 17:57 to play. Dixie State a 42-28 lead. Let's take just a 30-second timeout. Come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
$17:57 to play. Dixie State a 14-point lead at 42-28. If you're just joining us, Trevor Hill has played a total of 6 minutes tonight, and in those 6 minutes has picked up 3 offensive fouls. 0 for 1 from the field. He's got a rebound and an assist. Dixie State with a possession out of the timeout.
Yeah, just got to be really smart from here on out.
And Brandon throws it away. Stolen by Bettis. Only had 4 seconds to get a shot off, so they were trying to think ahead to that. Jansen a three-point shot on the other end, and Trevor can't handle the rebound. He loses it out of bounds.
And Juddy just about went to get somebody for Trevor Hill, but Coach Barnes said, he's all right, let him play through it. He's never been able to get in rhythm because of the foul situation tonight. Just needs 2 or 3 minutes on the floor to get a flow.
17:45 to play. Dixie State, 14-point lead. HPU possession. Jansen skipping it to Federico. A deep 3 straight away, and he hits it. Wow, he was almost standing on the D logo.
That's huge. He's got NBA range right there. Looked like Devin Booker in the three-point shootout earlier tonight.
42-31. Dixie State an 11-point lead. 17:24 to go. Simister holding left wing to Kyler. Mid-post left side. Backing in. Gives to Zach Hunter. The free throw line, spinning back to the right. Hangs and can't hit with the right hand. Ball tapped around, and a foul called in pursuit of the ball after the shot, and it's going to go against Federico, and that's his third.
Well, they're usually a good rebounding team, more known for their offensive rebounding than their defense. That time, just a little extra there by Federico. They push off with the offhand. Hard to say on that replay.
Brandon nearly throws it away on the inbound pass, but it gets tapped out of HPU's hands, and back to Brandon. He misses a jumper from the left side. Here comes HPU. Jansen, three-point land straight away, gives to Bettis. Federico. Federico to Rollins. Rollins driving to the right side, leaves for Bettis. Bettis, the free throw line, gives to Jansen. Jansen misses a shot.
I don't think anybody
tapped out of bounds. Dixie State couldn't get the rebound. He had Kyler in position to get it. Or excuse me, Clark in position to get it. And Kyler Nielsen barreled over him. The ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think it was just deflected on the shot. That's why they stay at this end. And
3 seconds to shoot. And Federico, right wing, he doesn't. Oh, with 1 second on the shot clock, a foul against Kyler Nielsen. Federico didn't even know the shot clock was winding down.
And Kyler, did he move here?
Oh,
He's just starting to slide with him.
And Federico just fell.
Slipped down, and definitely getting a couple of the benefits of the whistle here tonight on the road of the Sharks.
Jansen skipping it to Vering. Taps it to Roland. Back to Vering. 3-ball right wing. Too strong. Clark goes up high and gets the rebound. Hand off to Simister. Here comes Dixie State. Brandon accelerates inside, and he's fouled. Vering picks up the foul, his 4th.
Sims right there really giving up some size trying to attack, and the whistle bails him out, in my opinion, on that one. So you're seeing a little bail at both ends. Yeah, it all evens out in the end.
It all evens out in the end, certainly does. Simister makes the free throw. Brandon's kind of trying to shake off he's 2 of 3 from outside, but just 2 of 7 from the field. And I think he's trying to get going here in the second as well. Makes the free throw, just his 7th point of the night. And he's trying to get going as well. Second free throw on the way. It's good. 44-31. Dixie State lead is 13. 16-15 to play.
Juddy always talks about winning those 4-minute battles. And right now, losing this first 4-minute battle.
Federico throws it away. He was pressured by Nielsen, and he was looking for Jansen. Kind of tried to look off the defender, and no look over to Jansen. He wasn't there anymore. Passed it to the HPU bench. Turnover.
Bucket here, though, they can win this first 4-minute battle. They trailed by 14 at the break. They're only down 13 right now.
You're under 16. Media timeout coming next whistle. We've already had the first coach's call timeout. Federico strips it from Clark. Here we go. And Clark, a chase down block. And it's tapped out of bounds. I don't think they're calling a foul. It just got tapped out of bounds, and it'll be HPU ball after the timeout.
Wow, what a hustle play by Slim. He never saw Federico steal it, but he never gives up, It goes behind him and got all ball. Great no call by the officials right there, and the hustle of Slim was rewarded.
15:47 to go. Let's take another look at it from beneath the basket. Clark wrapping around, getting the block. It's 44-31. Dixie State leads by 13. 15:47 to go. How about a 30-second timeout? Just a 30. Come right back to the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. 15:47 to go. Dixie State leading by 13, 44-31. And how about that? Isaiah Clark making up for the turnover as he gets a chase down block on Federico on the other end. And here we go. They've got a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. It shouldn't be that way because the shot never hit rim. HPU going to get an extra couple of seconds here. Federico holding with 20 to shoot. Leads for Jansen. Jansen inside Christensen. 15 to shoot. Brings it back out. Federico. Right wing 3 on the way. Too strong. Nielsen chases it down for Dixie State.
Good job by Kyler to peel outside and chase that. You know, you take a lot of threes, you get a lot of deep caroms. Good board by the Blazers.
Nielsen. Top of the key for Sinister. Brandon. Backs it back out. He says, we got a 13-point lead. We can burn some time here. To Trevor. Trevor bouncing into the right corner. Brandon drives the inline. He'll try to bounce back outside to Trevor. It's kicked out of bounds. Was it kicked or did it just go out of bounds? Because if it's kicked, they should put some time back on the clock. I think they're just going to say he threw it off of his leg. And 7 seconds remain on the shot clock. Brandon into Trevor, 5 to shoot to Nielsen, down to 4 and 3 to Brandon. Open look for 3 left corner, too strong. And Kyler tapping the ball back out to Simister, leaving for Trevor. He'll jump a 3 right wing. No, it's short. And HPU the rebound, quick pass ahead to Bettis. Bettis Pass cut off by Trevor. Gives to Federico in the right corner. Driving inside on Clark, and he'll score it in the window, off the window with a foul.
Outside official made that call. I thought Slim was giving ground. Clearly wasn't trying to foul him, was just trying to stay in front and slide his feet and keep his hands up high. And sometimes that offensive player will lean into you, and you'll get the benefit of the whistle. And that's what happened. An and one opportunity for Federico, who looks a lot more active here in the second half. And he's got a scorer's mentality, doesn't he?
Federico makes the free throw. If you ask me, the foul came well before the shot. We just got another look at it. Slim kind of bumped him out near the T, where it's, the A where it says Dixie State. Right. They gave him a couple of steps in continuation, and his shot hadn't even started yet when the initial contact came in. Either way, a three-point play for Federico, and it's a 44-34 Dixie State lead, 14:27 to go. Kyler Nielsen catches right corner. To Julian Decree, bouncing inside to Dub Price, and he's fouled.
And Coach Judkins talking to Trevor Hill right after the whistle came on what he wants him to do. I think Trev's just not caught a rhythm tonight offensively. Probably a little scared to be overly aggressive off the dribble drive with already a bunch of offensive fouls called on him tonight. But he's done a good job since picking up his third a minute into the second half, not to get number 4 here at the 14:21 mark. HPU, though, at Carrick, they're still within striking distance, only down by 12. It's a long way to go.
14:21 to go. They're going to put 20 seconds on the shot clock. Pass inside Dub Price, and he's fouled on his way to the bucket. This time he'll get free throw. The foul goes against Tarpley.
Dub's got a couple steals tonight, 6 points, 2 of 4 shooting from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And you know what you get with Dub, you get 100% every single time he laces him up, comes out on the court as that first one drops through.
Dub makes the first free throw, 45-34, 14:19 to play. Price makes both free throws, and HPU will have the possession. 46-34, Dixie State lead. Federico loses it. Simister gets the steal. Brandon trying to control the dribble on the way up. Bouncing inside Kyler, guarded by Tarpley out to Dub, right wing. Dub back inside to Kyler, double team in the block. Leaves for Julian, 15-foot jumper is short. Ball tapped around, Bettis the rebound for HPU. 13:50 to go here in the second. 12-point Dixie State lead. Bettis will settle into the offense. Driving inside on Trevor. Leaves for Tarpley. Tarpley back inside to Jansen, and he'll lay it up and in.
Ooh, Tarpley, that was a sneaky little helper across the lane, little shovel pass, and Jansen easy bucket.
Simister, runner the other way, is too strong. And HPU the rebound. They can trim this to a single-digit lead here.
Dixie State just 1 for 7 from the floor in the second half in the last almost 7 minutes.
13:19 to go. A ton of basketball left. Federico for 3 is short. Trevor Hill going up strong. Thought he had the rebound. Julian Decree takes it away from him. And here come the Trailblazers. Trevor driving inside. Shakes and bakes, can't hit. And Trevor's going to get a whistle in his favor this time. And that whistle rang out before Trevor was even totally in his shooting motion. I think the referee had his mind made up that time. They were not going to call another charge on Trevor Hill.
Well, and Trev did a nice job of slowing down just a little bit and then crossed kind of over more to the middle and then kind of leapt straight up and down. Didn't go bowling his way in there. Didn't want to have any big collision or any big contact there to make it a tough choice.
And he misses the free throw. Rolls around every inch of the rim and falls off.
Blazers still 13 of 16, 81% from that free throw line tonight. That's a good number for them.
Trevor's still scoreless tonight, though. Looking for his first point of the night. He misses both. Federico the rebound. 10-point Dixie State lead, 46-36. 12:58 to go. Trevor nearly gets a steal, but he can't quite complete it. Here comes HPU the other way. Gordon Haynes skipping to Federico. Pump fake right corner. Now he takes a 3. Banks it. No good. Jansen offensive rebound. Kicks it back out to Federico to Rollins. Left wing 3. No. Tarpley offensive rebound is going to get called for the foul. Going back to Dixie State.
Yep, Simister had the position, even though he's a smaller guard. down low. That's the one thing that you value in your point guard. Brandon not scared to go down there, fight for a rebound, inside position. Tough call against Tarpley. Sometimes they'll let that go, but not that time.
12:30 to go. Nielsen into the left corner. Simister bouncing inside Dupree, left block. And an offensive foul. Dupree ran over Jansen.
Been a lot of offensive fouls called on Dixie State tonight. You know, they had a nice sizable lead and points in the paint at the half. And now that's been trimmed just a little bit. It's 24-12. Dixie State's making a concerted effort to go inside, Carrick.
Jansen with a smile on his face, kind of a cheeky smile all the way back up the floor. Anytime you see that after that call, you know, you think that, you know, they felt like they earned that one a little bit. 12:14 to go in the second. Dixie State a 10-point lead. Been a little bit of a lull in scoring for Dixie State here. Jansen for three straight away off the left side. Federico offensive rebound. Falls to the floor. No travel call. Pass it to Tarpley. Tarpley's pass is stolen by Trevor. Here we go. 2-on-2. Trevor into the lane, and he's fouled.
Yeah, rolling
by Roland. He said, I want no part of what might happen here.
Yeah, and Trev, as he was fouled, lost that handle on that. He's looking for his first points of the night.
11:54 to go. Dixie State a 10-point lead. 46-36. 60-second timeout. Right back. The Trailblazer Basketball Network. $11:54 to go. Dixie State lead is 10, 46-36. And the Trailblazers trying to complete win number 12 in this win streak. It would be win number 18 on the season and Pac West Conference win number 15. 3 games remaining after the senior night on Monday. You're going to want to be here for that. Guys like Trevor Hill, Kyler Nielsen, Brandon Simister, Zach Hunter. Trevor makes the first free throw, and he's on the board. At the 11:54 mark of the second half, Trevor has his first point. Still no field goals.
But he can score in bunches. He can get it going. Defense leads to offense when he gets out in transition. We've seen some high-flying, acrobatic dunks. Watched him during warm-ups. He was throwing some windmills down.
Both free throws good. 48-36. A great interview you had with him on the show the other day, by the way.
Fun to
Hill,
talk to
always
Trev.
a good interview.
Yeah.
48-36, Dixie State, 12-point lead, 11:35 to go. HPU the possession, shot clock winding down to 8. Rollins holding left wing, guarded by Isaiah Clark. Steps into a deep three, no. Clark had the rebound and lost it, then goes head first into the HPU bench.
Well,
hope he's okay.
I know they're a three-point shooting team, but, you know, Federico is 6'7", Jonathan Jansen 6'9". They've got some size. Varying is 6'6", and they continue to just take three after three after three. They're not even trying to pump fake dribble drive into a mid-range jump or get a higher percentage shot, but they're going to get a second chance here.
Tarpley holding, gives to Jansen. Jansen skipping to Federico. He'll take a three left wing, and he'll hit. Eventually, you put enough up, they'll fall through, and it's a single-digit game, 48-39.
Just 4-3 of the night. 4 for 26 are the Sharks in this game from distance.
Dixie State has scored just 8 points through the first 9, almost 10 minutes of this first half. Simister to Wade Miller. To Brandon, fakes a pass, now passes to Trevor. Thought about a three straight away. Instead to Brandon, he'll pop it, and it's short. Isaiah Clark, offensive rebound. And the Trailblazers will reset. Clark got to find somebody to give it to. Finds Wade out to Trevor. Dixie State will reset. Trevor Hill still looking for his first field goal of the night. The Simister, 18 to shoot. 10:27 on the game clock. Bouncing inside Clark. And he'll float it over the top of Jansen, and he scores. Clark in double digits.
We've seen him go the left-hand hook back in the first half. This time, a little just tweener jumper. High soft touch, little flip of the wrist for Slim.
10-12 to play. Dixie State a 50-39 lead. Tarpley driving inside, hangs, can't hit, but a whistle and a foul will go against Dub Price, and that will send Tavon Tarpley to the free throw line. Zach Hunter going to check back in.
Shorten the bench a little bit here in the second half. Haven't seen Quincy Matthews. Had a good first half. Hunter's going to come back in for Dub Price, I think.
Tarpley's going to take his time tying his shoes. Now we're ready for the first of two free throws.
Curtain of distraction.
And he gets it to go. Rolls around the rim and falls in. Who we got over there?
SpongeBob, a little princess, and then the poop emoji. And they're all little kids. Coach Judkins talking with Dub Price right in front of us as he checked out. Force him to go left is the message.
Tarpley makes both free throws despite good efforts by the Curtain of Distraction. 40-31, 9-point lead again. We are halfway through the final 20 minutes of basketball, and it's a 9-point game. So strap on your seatbelts, everybody. This one going to go down to the wire. Simister to Trevor. Straight away. Back to Brandon. Steps into a three left wing, short. And Brandon just can't get that shot going in the second half. Federico the rebound. Pass ahead to Rollins. Here comes HPU lobbing in. And tried to go alley-oop, but it went off the rim.
What a block by Clark.
Oh, my God. They're going to call goaltending, though.
They're going to call
They're
foul.
going to call okay.
No
They're going to call a foul on Clark. So they tried to go alley-oop. Varing had to tap it back to Christensen. Shot was blocked by Isaiah Clark, and he gets called for a foul.
Wow. Man, that looked pretty clean from the backside there. Coach Judkins staring out there in disbelief right now. And the free throw no good on that first attempt. Dixie State come in giving up only 70 points a game. They've held HPU to 41 right now. They held Hawai'i last Saturday to 55. So the defense has really been locked down.
Second free throw is good. Jansen gets it to go. 50-42. Dixie State lead trimmed to 8. 9:28 to play. Trailblazers have got to score. Wade Miller, right wing three. No, it rimmed out. Isaiah Clark, offensive rebound. And he's fouled. And the foul will go against Federico, and that's 4 against Federico. Great rebound by Isaiah Clark. He has been very active tonight. Clark with 10 points, 7 rebounds on the night, and he'll get a pair of free throws here, at least a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and Federico felt like he did have enough of a piece of it. And he's going to have to take a seat for a few moments, or is he not? No, he's not.
Wow.
Not yet, anyway.
First free throw, the front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Trailblazers struggling a little bit from the line here in the second half. And it's an 8-point game, 50-42. Bettis loses. 9:10 to play. Christensen pass tipped away by Clark, but it goes to Federico, left wing. Federico is fouled. Is it Trevor Hill or is it Zach Hunter? I think it's Zach, by the way he's walking away. He came over to help on the double team, and he can't believe it.
Well, I was just thinking, Federico's got 4 fouls, so maybe try to get him to cause an offensive foul at the other end, maybe try to isolate him. Hunter comes in, and hard to see from our angle if he swatted down at the very end, and that's what the officials saw, because it looked like a pretty clean play. Federico's kind of losing his balance.
Federico, front into the 1-and-1, he hits it. 50-43. This is a 7-point game, and this game is far from over.
Yeah, they've chipped away
to go.
They've won these 4-minute battles so far in this second half. Just keep chipping away at that 14-point deficit. Dixie State has led all but 36 seconds in this game. Largest lead was 22 at one point.
Federico makes both free throws. And the Trailblazers
down to 6 points.
Down to a 6-point lead, 50-44. Trailblazers have got to find something from outside. Trailblazers last field goal, 10:23 mark. Isaiah Clark layup and a turnover. Trevor throws it away. Gordon Hain to Isevic. Isevic top of the key to Bettis. And they can cut this to a 4 or a 3-point game on this possession. Isevic. The Varing back to Isevic. Isevic with 10 to shoot, loses, regains, 3-point land straight away to Christensen. And he'll go in and float it and score it. Dixie State wants a timeout. It's a 4-point game, 50-46, 8:20 to play. Will they stretch it to the media? They're going to. 50-46, Dixie State leading it by 4. Take a 60-second timeout. Come right back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. It's a 4-point game, 50-46, 8:20 to play. Gut check time for Dixie State as they try to close this one out over the final 8 minutes and 20 seconds here in regulation. Full court pressure for HPU out of the timeout. Inbound pass to Simister. Got to find a bucket here. Nielsen. Double team. Pass to Simister. 3 seconds to get it across. Bounces to Wade Miller. Just across in time inside to Kyler. Trying to bounce to Zach Hunter, and they turn it over.
Kyler's got to be a little bit more selfish there instead of unselfish. He's trying to make that extra pass across the lane. He's 6 feet out. Go ahead and go into that little teardrop float or try to bank it in. You're on the right wing there. Pretty high percentage shot if you just elevate and let it go. But had a passing mentality there, and it didn't pay off.
Bettis into the left corner and bounce it inside to Christensen. Christensen hangs, hits in the lane. It's a 2-point game. 50-48, 7:45 to go. Here we go. Strap on your seatbelts. Dixie State, gut check time. Simister to Nielsen. Nielsen holding right wing, bounces to Wade Miller. Wade swings to Brandon. Brandon to Zach Hunter in the lane, gets to the bucket, off the window and in. The senior making a big time move, and Coach Judkins wants a foul as well. He's not going to get it. 52-48, Dixie State leads by 4, 7:15 to go. Bettis inside, kicking to the left corner, Varing, pump fake, drives inside, runs over Zach Hunter, offensive foul. Easy call, and then he slams the ball back down on Zach Hunter after the fact. And I think that's 5 against Varing.
And he is done. Great bucket on the offensive end, and then doing some work, a huge collision in the paint. His feet are just outside the restricted area. Both these coaches haven't sat down as we enter crunch time at the Burns Arena with the win streak on the line.
So Zach Hunter getting a big bucket on one end and drawing the charge on the other. Full court pressure for HPU. Inbound pass to Simister. He'll push it across the timeline, looking inside to Zach. Zach bounces for Quincy Matthews, and he'll dribble the baseline to the left wing. Brings it back out for Brandon. Brandon bounces to Zach. Free throw line jumper. He wants it. Dies on the back iron. Kyler Nielsen had the rebound, lost it. Here comes HPU. 6:50 to play. Gordon Hain inside to Christensen, off the window and in.
Sims had to fly by, and then he was able to have enough space there to kiss it off the window.
Kyler for three, right corner. Bang! Kyler Nielsen steps up and makes a big shot. It's the seniors coming up big for the Trailblazers. 55-50, 6:30 to go. Bettis, inside shot blocked by Julian Decree. Kyler's got it. Here we go. Kyler leaves for Zach. Zach back to Kyler. He'll lay it up and in. Dixie State by 7. 57-50, 6:10 to go.
Good lineup. Coach Juddy changing up the lineup, doing it right now. And he's all fired up, and now we got a warning on somebody. I'm not sure who. I don't know if somebody was out of the coach's box, one of the two coaches. He didn't point either direction right now, but what a run. Hunter getting it done. Kyler Nielsen a three, and then an athletic move on the baseline. The D by Julian Decree, really getting this Trailblazer team out in transition.
Kind of a bummer on that delay of game, whatever they called. It allowed Federico to check back into a game. It shouldn't have been a dead ball situation. Isovic holding left wing. To the right side, and Bettis to Federico, guarded by Quincy Matthews, and they're going to call a hand check foul against Quincy.
Man, didn't see a lot there, Carrick, to be honest with you. Looked like they were just starting to kind of post up. He was taking a couple dribbles. Maybe Q just to that first bump, a little too aggressive. No, maybe the hand.
Well, they only put the one hand on him there. It's a really late whistle if that's what they're calling. Federico will have 2 free throws, unless it's just a 1-and-1 actually. My bad. First one on the way, and it's good. Now we'll have one more. Christensen and Dupree mixing it up a little bit inside. Julian's going to have to, and a technical foul, double technical, is going to go against Christensen and Julian Decree.
And I don't know, Decree says he's grabbing my hand. Before they entered the lane there, a little hand fighting maybe going on. And then the talking ensued. Trailblazers by 6. And we'll take a look on the replay here to see if there's some hand fight right there when that free throw. He locked Decree up, so Decree kind of cleared off. And you know what? Then they stare each other down, and they're right in each other's face, and I think the official went ahead and just said, I've had enough. Neither did anything outrageous in that situation, but I think, you know, the tension is starting to mount right now, Carrick, and the officials want to say, hey, I still got a little bit of control of this game. And we're not privy to what they were saying to each other either. So, you know, maybe it was the words that, maybe more than the actions there, that led to that technical foul. We don't exactly know.
Federico will have one more free throw. And he makes it. 5-point game, 57-52. Dixie State clinging to the lead with 5:54 to go. And if you're a Dixie State fan, you're saying, man, this clock cannot tick away fast enough. Kyler to Trevor. Trevor still without a field goal in this ballgame. To Kyler, gets it across the timeline. And he'll find Trevor again. 20 to shoot. 5-point Dixie State lead. Back to Kyler. Kyler stops the dribble. To Quincy, left corner. Thought about a three. Decides against it. 8 to shoot. Swings to Trevor. Gets a screen from Zach. Crosses over. Got to have a shot here. Tapped out of his hands and a steal.
Really good defense right there. Trev trying to go crossover, and he poked it free.
HPU with possession. Jansen, three-point land straight away, gives to Rollins. Chance of defense raining down inside the Burns. Rollins with 15 to shoot. Gives to Isovic. To Jansen. Federico, he's their guy. They want the ball in his hands. The left side, quickly inside to Jansen, and he'll lay it up and in. Good helper from Rollins. And a 3-point Dixie State lead. 4:54 to go. Trevor bouncing to Kyler. Another right corner three. No. Ball tapped around. It's on the floor. Who's got it? Zach's got it. And he's going to call a timeout. And that is their final timeout of the game.
You know what? You saved a possession. Zach had no choice there. He knew they were going to get a jump ball tie-up at any moment. Now, the possession still was with Dixie State. And you might have rather have changed possession there than lose that last timeout. You know, Slim was in position to maybe get a dunk, and it hit that rim an extra bounce. It tried to go down off that three-point attempt, but good hustle, diving on the floor, Zach Hunter.
Yeah, 4:44 to go. 57-54. Dixie State, a 3-point lead.
This second half, shooting-wise, has been not a good half of basketball. Just 5 of 16 from the field and only 1 of 7 from downtown are the Trailblazers in the second half. And remember, they were shooting right around 50% there at the break from downtown. They dipped down to 30%. Still shooting 44% from the field. Meanwhile, right now, shooting percentages, Hawaii Pacific in the second half, only 9 of 25 and 2 of 12 from downtown, but they've been 8 of 9 from the line, and they've got their percentages up to 30% from the floor in this contest so far. They've outscored Dixie State in the second half. The Sharks 28, Dixie State 17, and that's why it's just a 3-point game with 4:44 to go.
Dixie State 57-54 lead. Timeouts brought to you by Mountain America.
Hawaii Pacific's first lead of the game and only lead of the game came 4-2 early on in this contest. Dixie State has led the entire way, but that 22-point lead they had middle of the first half, long gone.
It'll be Dixie State possession. Will they take full advantage of the extra possession using their last timeout? Bouncing to Zach, and he'll let it. They do. 5-point lead.
Almost makes it worth it, doesn't it? Has to. Hunter's played great tonight.
59-54, and it's on the coaches now to relay to the players that, hey, we are out of timeouts with 4:30 to go. HPU just with 1 timeout. Easevin backing in on Nielsen. He'll turn and shoot. No, Trevor Hill rebound. And Coach Judkins wants him to push it. Trevor driving inside, gets to the bucket, off the window, no, but a foul. Gonna ring out, and it will be Jansen, his third, and Trevor goes to the line for a pair of huge, fabulous Freddy's free throws.
Well, if you're the home crowd, you love that, but Jansen didn't do a lot here. He kind of gives ground, and then he didn't foul him. I don't think he fouled him there, Carrot.
No, I'm sure that's what they're getting him on, though.
They saw the reach in.
The swipe.
Yep.
And anytime they see that.
I didn't notice that live, but I did on that replay.
Hard to see down in this basket.
Looked like his fingertips barely grazed the ball.
Yeah, it's close.
His reaction, he certainly thought he did not foul him.
Trevor makes the first free throw, 60-54. So much on the line in this game. Trevor makes both. He's got 4 points, but they've all come from the free throw line.
Coach Judkins trying to get this crowd going a little bit here. President's Day weekend.
4:10 remaining. Federico. To Jansen. Pass is tapped, it's loose. Sinister chases it down and saves it into Clark. And Dixie State will have possession. 3:55 to play. We are under 4. Media timeout coming. Next dead ball. Sinister bumped to Trevor. Decides against the 3. Floats in the lane. No, it rims out. Ball tapped around and a foul. It's going to go, is it against Dixie State or is it against Hawaii Pacific?
No, Clark got pushed. It's going against the Sharks, I believe.
I don't know. He said 34, though. I don't think HPU has a 34.
33, he's done. That's on Federico. He's out.
Federico.
It's his 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, Clark had the position there. And just a little shove. Isaiah Clark has been an energizing force tonight. A lot of hustle. He's just there. He's there.
Yep,
and then there's
bump.
Little bump. Tough way to foul out, but certainly contact was made. There's the Pac-West leading scorer now. Going to have to sit out the last 3:44 of this game. He ends the night with just 1 point shy of his average. He's got 20, but his night is over.
Let's do this. 3:44 to go. 61-54. Dixie State lead. Let's take a 30-second timeout. Got to pay some bills here. 30-second timeout. Right back in the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
3:44 to go. Dixie State a 61-54 lead. We're through our last media timeout. Hawaii Pacific only has 1 timeout remaining. Dixie State is out of timeouts. So if you want to think of this final 3:44, we're really not going to have maybe one more stoppage, at least for a timeout, should HPU decide to use it at some point. Clark to the line for a pair of free throws. And he'll have the first and then one more. First one on the way hits Isaiah Clark.
Perfect night going almost.
11 points, 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 4 from the stripe, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, closing in on a double-double, just a couple rebounds away. But even when he's not able to secure the rebound, he's able to get the contact, foul out your other opponent's star, and then connect from the line.
63-54, Dixie State a 9-point lead, 3:35 remaining in regulation. Bettis gives to Gordon Haynes. Back to Rollins. Rollins stops the dribble. To Gordon Haynes, it's loose. Kyler's got it, and he's undercut. No foul call. Coach Judkins is incensed. Rollins for three. It's short. Gordon Haynes offensive rebound. Put back, no. Kyler falls to the ground again. Ball tapped around, and Zach Hunter going to get called for a foul. His fourth.
HPU is playing hard right now, Carrick. It's scrappy. Every rebound is being fought for by both teams. You know, HPU, if you're just tuning in, they're not in the conference tournament. You got to be in the top 6. They're on the outside looking in right now. You're playing a team with 11-game win streak, top the Pac-West, on the road. And that's why you're seeing a tremendous amount of effort from this Sharks team tonight.
Bettis makes the first. I was surprised the whistle was not blown when Kyler's legs were taken out. We've seen that call go against Dixie State a number of times this season. Bettis makes both free throws, and it's a 7-point game, 63-56. Simister to Zach Hunter. Zach leaves for Trevor. Trevor with 3 minutes remaining. To Brandon, and a whistle and a foul away from the ball. Zach Hunter was cutting through the lane, and he's fouled by Darnell Bettis.
Bettis trying to tell the official what happened there. The official walking away, Bettis following him. Calm conversation right there, just trying to lobby maybe for another one. Yeah, this has been a hard game to officiate, I feel like, Carrick.
Both teams in the double bonus. First free throw from Zach Hunter is good. Zach's got 8 points on the night.
But his floor game, he's done some other things really well. I just love his effort. A lot of things not showing up in the stat box. Diving for balls, getting timeouts for his team.
Both free throws good. 9-point game, 2:55 to go. Rollins to Bettis. Chance of defense continue to rain down. Bettis to Jansen. Three-pointer left wing. In and out. Zach Hunter the rebound. Wow.
Well, they switched, but then they switched back, and that gave him room, and he almost knocked it down.
Sinister left corner. Feel like another bucket here will put Dixie State really in the driver's seat over these last 2 minutes. Hunter guarded by Rollins.
You can be patient here.
Top of the key, Kyler. 10 seconds still to shoot. Pass inside. Zach, he gets away from the defender and scores an 11-point lead for Dixie State. 67-56.
Tarpley thought he had help. I think he kind of thought he had the help side defense there, and he turned to let him go, and nobody was home underneath the bucket.
Tarpley. Gives to Gordon Haynes, and it's tied up, and the jump ball finally rings out, and Dixie State going to have a possession on the alternate arrow, so now that timeout called by Zach Hunter works in Dixie State's favor. They still had the arrow.
Yeah, and then they got points after the timeout, so things playing out well. Look at Kyler, just stayed down on that pump fake, and then he put it right in front of him, and Kyler just had to reach out and tie it up.
Kyler's really strong in his upper body, too. You're not going to take that ball away from him.
He's been just having a solid night. 6 of 9 from the floor, 14 points, 2 steals, 6 rebounds. The senior having himself a game.
Wilson to Trevor. Inside to Clark, as it stripped away on his way to the bucket. And 2 free throws coming for Isaiah Clark, another guy who's having a big night tonight. Jansen picks up the foul. It'll be number 4 against Jansen. 2 free throws.
Trailblazers
for Isaiah Clark.
They're continuing to pound the post right now, and they're getting the calls on the reach-ins from the Sharks. And without Frederico in this game, where does the scoring come? You've got to have threes now. Unfortunately for the Sharks tonight, they're just 4 of 28 from downtown.
Clark makes the first free throw. He's at 13. Should he make this free throw, he will tie his career high, which he set at Cal Poly Pomona earlier this season.
He's having a great night. That's the thing about this team. You never know when you show up to the Burns Arena which Blazer is going to lead you with scoring. Tonight it's been Nielsen, Clark, and Hunter that have had the big performance tonight. Not Trevor Hill and Simister like we've seen all season long for the most part.
And how about Clark? 14 points, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Bettis, right elbow jumper, rims out. Zach Hunter rebound. Dixie State lead is 13. Simister has it. 1:25 remaining across the timeline. Brandon hands off to Kyler.
I think you got a foul.
Yeah.
I think you got a foul. Unless you're
content
down.
to just, yep.
13 points down.
And Dixie State not meeting much pressure here. Bouncing into Simister. 9 to shoot to Zach Hunter. 18-foot jumper. May have been deflected. That shot missed badly to the right. Here comes HPU. Easovic. Skip past to Jansen, left corner. Surprised he didn't take the three there. Rollins, right wing. Easovic. HPU in no hurry. He'll step back, fire a three. Brandon Simister, long rebound. Handing off to Trevor. And that'll just about do it. Got to get it across the timeline.
12 straight, baby.
Still a 14-second differential between game and shot clocks. We got to put up a shot here. But here we go. 12 straight. Much to the chagrin of those scoreboard watching. Yes. Around the Pac-West Conference.
We had a lot of teams rooting for the top team in the standings to go down. Didn't happen tonight. Sharks gave them everything they wanted here in the second half. Closed it down to as little as 3. But the Blazers got hot again.
And after the kick ball, Dixie State can run this thing out. 1 second differential between game and shot clock. Dixie State saying no shot. But unless you want another turnover. Oh, Trevor threw it right to Bettis. He'll steal it, lay it in. Clock did not stop after the made basket, so they'll have to put a few more seconds on. And if that kind of the cherry on top for a frustrating night for Trevor Hill tonight.
Yeah, 6 turnover, very uncharacteristic. Too many turnovers there, not a field goal. But you know what? It sets him up for a big bounce back on senior night on Monday.
Simister across the timeline, 13 seconds remaining. And that should do it. 69-58 going to be your final. It was not easy. It was not pretty. But all that matters, Dixie State gets the win, 69-58, 12 straight for the Trailblazers, and they improved to 18-6 overall, taking a season series from Hawaii Pacific, and now 15-2 in the Pac-West Conference are the Trailblazers as they maintain that 1-game lead over California Baptist in first place. Trailblazers win at 69-58. Withstand a big Hawaii Pacific run in the second half, and Devin, it doesn't matter how you end up victorious at the end as long as you do, especially this time of year.
Yeah, you know, if a win streak of 5 or 6 for some teams is a nice streak, but 12 doesn't happen very often. Special senior class with these 6 guys, and huge win tonight. Kind of an unorthodox game. It was somewhat choppy. It was hard to get a rhythm. It was a lower scoring game, but a win's a win. They all count the same in the win-loss column tonight. For the Sharks, it's probably going to really almost make it nearly impossible for them to get in the Pac-West Conference tournament. Still a few games to go for Dixie State, inching closer to putting another championship banner up in the rafters as conference champs with 3 left. They still only have a 1-game lead over Cal Baptist, though. And they've got, games against Biola and Point Loma and one other matchup coming up. I forget who that third.
Holy Names on Monday. I forgot about that game too. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that trip is what I'm doing. And you look at Cal Baptist, their last 3 games. They only have 1 game left. They have Holy Names next Saturday, and then they will be done. And so, actually check that. They have 2 games left. They have a final for the Dominican game next Thursday already, but Cal Baptist has Dominican and Fresno Pacific and Holy Names, so you can pretty much guarantee they're probably not going to drop either of those 2. I think the mantra is if you're Dixie State and you want to win this outright, if you share the conference title, you still hang a banner, you get rings, you do all the whole thing. But Dixie State wants to win this thing outright, and to be able to do that, Trailblazers will have to win 3 straight, and they control their own destiny. Holy Names on Monday, 1 at a time. Biola on Thursday, and then Point Loma on Saturday. 69-58, Trailblazers win it. Take a 3-minute timeout and come back with the Johnson Pediatric postgame report right here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
$150 over $90.
$180 over $111.
$160 over $110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
A good night in the Burns. Anytime the Trailblazers win it, 69-58. Dixie State emerging victorious. Wasn't pretty, especially at times in the second half, but Dixie State holds on for the victory, 69-58, to improve to 18-6 overall, 15-2 in the Pac West, and their 12th consecutive victory now with 3 games remaining. If you can win each of those 3, you win the conference outright and hang another banner, get another ring, and head down on Cloud 9 of the Pac West tournament in Riverside. But a lot of basketball to be played between now and then, and this is the Johnson Pediatric Postgame Report. We're going to break this game down, give you some Findlay Subaru stats, and then we'll get some thoughts from Coach and McMullen Legal Group Coach's comments, and we'll just break this thing down, look at some highlights, and just have a good time and talk about this 69-58 win. Carrick Segmiller, Devin Dixon with you courtside, and Devin, as we mentioned, wasn't pretty. The Dixie State showed, and I really think as senior night is coming up on Monday, it came down to about a 2-point game. Zach Connor had the big heads-up play to call the timeout. He scored out of that timeout, and then you had Kyler Nielsen with big buckets. You had Isaiah Clark with big buckets, and the seniors really helping Dixie State clinch this win down the stretch.
Yeah, there were a lot of contributions tonight, and it wasn't your normal leaders. It wasn't Brandon Simmons tonight. He did have 8. Trev, slow night. He only had 4 points. I mean, those two guys, you know, they've been leading you, averaging almost 30 points a game combined, and they combined for 12, and yet still plenty to win at home over a really good basketball team. I thought the three-point perimeter defense was clutch tonight. The rebounding was magnificent. They out-rebound this team by 10. You love that. Turnovers, uncharacteristic, a little high for Dixie State tonight. 18 turnovers, a little bit careless with the basketball, but all things considered, a win is a win. Love the bench play again tonight, Carrick. Especially in that first half. I thought the bench did a really good job in that first half. They shortened the bench a little bit in the second half. Quincy Matthews has a couple few clutch minutes there in the stretch. Doug Price had a couple few minutes there in the set, but it was a lot of your seniors doing the heavy lifting in that second half, just trying to fight this team off because HPU made that big run. And for a minute there, it got quiet in the Burns Arena. When they cut it to 57-54, Juddy took the timeout after a couple runs earlier on, and then you had the one you alluded to, and then you were out of timeout, so you couldn't really do much. But they were able to fight through it and just flow through it. Got some calls down the stretch by attacking down in the post. I thought Isaiah Clark was fantastic tonight. 4 of 4 from the field, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And he had a third that they called a foul on that looked pretty clean. So, in my mind, he was really big for the Trailblazers tonight.
Certainly something to think about as we get set to hand out some awards tonight. Our Dash Trucking Player of the Game, our Les Olson Play of the Game, Porta Sub Super Sub of the Game, and a lot of choices to choose from tonight. But Isaiah Clark, Kyler Nilsson, you mentioned a couple of them. And, didn't get as much production from the bench tonight, but, Doug Price came in, and he's probably that leading sub for the Super Sub of the Game with 8 points. A lot of those in the first half, but tonight it had to be a total team effort. Your leader, one of your leaders is on the bench with 3 offensive fouls. He can't get into a rhythm. He doesn't even finish with a field goal. He makes 4 big free throws. But tonight was a night that everybody had to chip in and win this game. And I think this is maybe one of those games that early on and even late in last season that you maybe see the team fall apart all the way and they don't hold on. Maybe they lose that game. It was Azusa Pacific, 2016-17 season all over again. But this team, they've really turned a corner over this last 12 games in this winning streak. And they've been able to come out and to say, we're not backing down. We're not going to, bend, but we're not going to break, and we're going to do what it takes to get the win.
Here's the surprising thing, though. If you would have told me before the game that Brandon Sampson should be 2 for 11 and that Trevor Hill would be 0 for 3 from the field and Dixie State would win by 11, I would have went, okay, I'll take it. But it would have surprised you, right?
Yeah, I'd say you're crazy.
Yeah, but Kyler Nilsson, 6 and 9, 14.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, only 2 turnovers. Really good stat line. Simister played 34 minutes. Kyler Nilsson played 31. Obviously, Trevor Hill only played 22 because he had to sit for about 15 minutes in that first half after he got the quick 2 offensive fouls. They got that third one. I was really worried when he got his third one a minute into the second half. I was really worried, but it did affect Trevor. It did psychologically take his aggressiveness away because he wanted to stay out of foul trouble. But you get 3 fouls that early and 2 fouls early in the first half and that third early in that second half. It makes you a little bit less aggressive on the defensive end, and that's when Trevor's at his best. When he's able to pick a pocket, try to contest a shot, get out and rebound and run, that's when he's at his best, and it didn't really allow him to get into a flow offensively.
Well, you could see it. As soon as he picked up the third foul, he looked at the official, he looked at Coach Judkins, he looked at his assistant coaches, he looked at the ref again, and he just was looking at anybody with his arms out saying, what have I got to do here to get into a rhythm? And he went down, he turned the ball over once or almost had another foul on the defensive end, and you mentioned it during the broadcast. Coach Judkins was walking down the bench to try to find someone to go in for him, and assistant coach Jeremiah Barnes caught him and said, hey, it's okay, let him play, let him try to get a rhythm. And Trevor didn't pick up another foul the rest of the game, and got some rebounds and made some free throws. And
he got to the line.
Yeah, he got to the line, and just having Trevor out there changes what teams have to do defensively. So it doesn't matter if he's having an off night. You have to keep Trevor Hill out there because he's one more guy to account for.
And this game was really close until their star fouled out.
Federico.
And Federico, it was a guy that had 20 points tonight. And when he fouled out, Dixie State was able to reestablish that cushion and then push it up and win by 11. That really was a factor in this game. So, you talk about Trevor's foul trouble, but, the foul situation there for Federico hurt them and really cost HPU down the stretch. And it was just a little offensive over the top, little push on Isaiah Clark on a rebound, and he had to check out for the night.
Dixie State winning it 69-58. Let's hand out some awards. And actually, let's look at the second half highlights. Let's look at our second half highlights first, and then we'll jump in to those awards. Starting things off in the high. There we go. You had Federico, and how about this? He thinks he's getting a layup, and Isaiah Clark makes up for his turnover in a hurry.
Yep, you love that effort. You just see him just continue to fight
That
back,
was a huge
run
three.
it down, and then a nice team D3. There's the Decree block. Julian did some nice things tonight. Got in a technical foul, though, and Juddy went back to Clark after that and didn't get as many minutes for Montgomery. Montgomery didn't play tonight because Clark was doing so well. I thought Zach Hunter was tremendous. A lot of his points came on plays just like that at the rim, off unselfish passes from teammates. And that one goes off of his face and out of bounds, and Dixie State that's a bad break. It hits you in the face, and you lose possession.
That was the bucket. It kind of put the nail in the coffin right there as he scored that one. And Zach Hunter finishes with 11 points, the third Trailblazer in double figures. You know, you're saying who's going to be that third guy. And tonight it was Zach Hunter on a night where he gets 11 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist as well. So those are your highlights. Let's hand out some awards. How about Dad's Trucking Player of the Game tonight? And tonight you're going to have to basically sit down and have an arm wrestle and say, okay, is it Kyler Nielsen or is it Isaiah Clark? And how do you measure each of them with 14 points? How do you measure who did more in terms of handing out the Player of the Game award?
Well, it's a toss-up. Because I thought Kyler's 3 was big when they really needed a bucket from the right corner. But I thought Clark's blocks and energy got to the line with 6 to 7. You know, he had 8 rebounds, Isaiah Clark did, and 6 for Kyler Nelson. We don't do it often. Every once in a while, though, you go co-MVP. And maybe we let Juddy decide because he loves to do some postseason awards in the locker room. We'll see what Coach Judkins thought was the impact player of the game and our Dad's Trucking Player of the Game because they were both just as important tonight. They really both had huge performances, and they needed it with the numbers we talked about. Simister just 2 of 11, Trev 0 for 3 from the floor.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see what Coach says and who he picked in there in the locker room. And
I think I probably would lean Clark so if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like he's been starting, but then, Decree and Montgomery have been gobbling up some minutes. They've had a 3-5-man rotation, and Clark just got a ton of minutes tonight because he was playing so well. 28 minutes. That might be a season high for Isaiah Clark in minutes played. And you love that. You love to reward a guy that's playing well with a bunch of minutes. We didn't, and like I mentioned, we didn't see Austin Montgomery tonight because Decree was coming in and doing okay behind him, and Clark deserved those minutes. So,
just for your information, that is second. He played 40 minutes in the overtime game against Cal Poly Pomona.
But still,
to
my
open
point
things.
made.
Yeah, point made. Since then, that's the most minutes. Once he's gotten into his rotation, that's the most minutes he's played since. So it might as well be a season high. Because in that first game, he's going with who he had.
Yeah, Jimmy John super sub of the game going to be, Porta Subs. I'll just plug all the sandwich shops in town. Porta Subs, super sub of the game. And that one's going to be probably either Dub Price or Quincy Matthews, one of those two guys. I mean, you look at the stat line for Quincy, 1 for 2, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Quincy had 4.6 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover. And then, if you look at Dub Price, 2 of 4, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 8 points, 2 steals, and 1 rebound. But both those guys gave Dixie State. And it goes back to the depth of this bench.
Certainly. Head coach John Judkins joining us for the McMullen Legal Group coaches' comments in our Johnson Pediatric post-game report. Coach,
Hi, Coach.
wasn't always easy, but at this point of the season, a win is a win. And you know you're going to have some ugly stretches and some tough stretches this time of the year in a 12-game win streak, and you just got to do what you do, and tonight you're able to do it.
Well, we figured out a way to win. That's what I was happy with is, they figured it out. They got it down to 8 or 7, and then we blew it back up a little ways again, but again, I thought we had them done. They're almost ready to quit, almost ready to put the fork in them that first half, get up by 20. I made a couple subs that kind of try to get some guys in, got some fresh minutes to keep some guys going, and they made that last 4 minutes of the half hurt us. We scored 5 points in 4 minutes, and we didn't get a rebound that whole last 4 minutes before half, offensively or defensively, and I thought that was a big turning. It kind of got them some hope, and they came out and played a lot harder. But we figured a way. If you would have told me we would have won that game by 11 with Simister having 8 points and Trevor having 4 points, I would have told you you're crazy.
Especially with the way they both shot from the field, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, again, just trying too hard tonight. I thought he shot some really hard shots. He was 2 for 11. He's just got to let it come. I mean, I love how he wants to score and he wants to be aggressive, but there's a time of being aggressive, there's a time to be smart, and I thought he kind of forced a few. Trevor got 2 bad calls, and the first one I thought was questionable. Second one was a charge. It was a charge, and then his third one was a dumb one on an out-of-bounds play that he just pushed off. And but he's got to realize when he gets in foul trouble, he's got to let that go and do other things. I mean, rebound, defend, maybe assist. I thought he kind of got so mad he kind of got out of his game, and he can't do that. But I'll tell you what, we had other guys step up. When I got turned on the radio, when I put my headphones on, I heard you talk a little bit about Quincy. I thought Quincy gave us a good spark that first half when Trevor was out. Second half, he didn't play as much because Trevor was in.
Right.
But I thought that was big. I thought Slim played a great game tonight. Goes 6 for 7 from the foul line, gets 8 rebounds. I thought he played well, and then I thought Kyler had a great game tonight. We gave Kyler our impact player of the game, and as out of Slim and him, and I thought they both played really well for us. So it was good. It was not our best. I don't think Dev always says, you peak at the wrong time. That's what I asked my guys. Hey, we peak at the wrong time, or are we going to get better? Let's get better. And tonight it looked like we were a little bit tired more than them.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like I told them in there, it's hard to play one game a week the last 2 weeks. You kind of get out of the game playing situation, and we try to do some things in practice this week of game situations to try to kind of think about that, and now we turn around and play 3 games in 5 days. So it's kind of tough. The schedule's kind of tough, but I thought Hawaii Pacific played really hard and played really well, but we figured out a way to win, and that's what good teams do, and I was proud of that. And again, it wasn't maybe our best game of the year, but it was still a good game, and we'll grow, we'll get better from this, we'll learn, and we knocked them out. They're going to be out now the tournament. Coach Barnes said that tonight. He goes, guys, you're going to be knocking teams out now. These next 3 games we play, you can be knocking people out of the tournament. So let's just keep that going and keep it getting better every day.
Coach, when Trevor picked up his 3rd foul in the second half, it looked like you might had a thought to take him out and then decided to let him play through it. Take me through that thought process. And then also prior to that in the first half, was there ever thought, hey, with 2 fouls, I want to get him back out there? Because he had to sit for, 16 minutes in the first half.
Well, we thought of that. We talked about that. But, again, if we ever would have got behind, then I probably would have done it.
Yeah.
But since you have a lead, I thought, no, let's not get a 3rd foul. We need him. But, again, this is the thing that I tell, not just Trevor, but everybody. When you get in foul trouble, you just can't get dumb ones. You can't get, reaching fouls or, his 3rd foul. You just push the guy for a lob for underneath out-of-bounds play. We got to be smarter with that. Dumb ones. If you get a block or you get a charge going to the basket, those things aren't dumb. It's just a reaching dumb things. And so I was trying to tell them, don't get a dumb one. But sometimes guys, when they get in foul trouble, they stop being aggressive. They don't want to get the 3rd or 4th or 5th foul, and so they don't want to do the things that they're good at. And I thought Trevor kind of went through that. I got onto him pretty hard one time where it wasn't just him, it was all of our guys. Slim should have got a rebound. He goes up with one hand and misses it. He's all by himself. He drops the ball. It goes out of bounds. He dives for it. I mean, the whole momentum switching. And I look over at the 4 guys on our team, and not one of them ran over there and picked him up and tell him good hustle. That just drives me nuts. Those are things that I need my captains to do. And I got into Trevor pretty hard on that. That's what leadership is. When you have a bad game or you don't play your game, do the little things. Do the little things to make your team better. But again, I thought Slim played one of his best games of the
season.
And then I got mad at Julian on his technical. That's just dumb. We're not.
Did
that
they give
way.
a reason for? Was
they
it just John?
Chatting. There's John each other. It was dumb, and like
because we watched the replay and there was nothing.
No, they didn't push.
Yeah.
No, it was just John, and to me, that's not a technical. Go in and break it up and tell them to be quiet and move on.
And then if it continued,
that was what they were going to do because he walked in and then all of a sudden the whistle rings out.
A good official would have
calls
done
the
that.
technical.
That just changes the whole. I mean, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
You put a guy on a bench. I mean, I got to get control of the game, but their coach runs the guy down, gets all the way to the X, and they don't do anything with him. To me, that's worse than
It seemed like you were coaching your tail off, and both coaches were working the officials.
We were trying. Well, they were.
Was it a hard game to officiate in your mind?
I think it was. I think it got really inconsistent. I thought that I give them credit. We were blowing them out of the water, and so I guarantee you, I probably would have done the same thing. He got into his team and said, "Hey, let's be physical, let's be aggressive. We're going to fight till the end. Let's get after it." And they got into us, and got physical, and the refs let them get away with it a little bit. And our guys backed away. You got to be tougher than that. And but again, it was good. It's a good fight for us. That team's good. I told you that 33 is the real deal. And
when he fouled out, that was pretty much it.
And Trevor didn't guard. I mean, he was on the bench. So when Trevor guarded the first time, he did a great job. Tonight we had Kai had to guard him a little bit. Quincy had to guard him a little bit. So that was good for them to go through that, because that kid's he's got the green light, and he shoots a lot of shots. So it was good for us. I mean, he still gets his 20 points and 20 rebounds. That's what he's averaging, 21 and 12, I think. But Sinister, not one of his best, but he got 8 assists, he had 4 steals. That's what I was telling Trevor. Sometimes you don't have a good game, but you can do other things, and he did that. 8 assists and 4 steals. That's pretty good. So we'll take it. We're happy with it. Now we got 3 left, and one at a time, and the one on Monday is going to be a little fun, a little special, because it's senior night. And sad part is we have nobody here student-wise. It's a 3-day weekend. That part was bad, I think, for our crowd, because we could have done a better job with that, I thought, but with Pink Night. But, we appreciate everybody that comes out, and we appreciate the support we get. And we're on a roll. We want to keep this thing going and get better and better and make some noises in the next couple of weeks.
I wanted to talk about the contributions that your seniors did have in this game, especially with Senior Day coming up on Monday. It was 57-54, 3-point game. You guys hadn't had a field goal for a little while. Ball's loose with about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Zach dives on it, calls a timeout, probably a little sooner than you want to burn your last timeout.
Yeah.
But then he comes out and scores. You get a stop, and Isaiah gets a block. You go down, and Isaiah makes a couple of free throws. It just seems like at that point, Kyler hits a 3. Your seniors all came together and said, we're not losing this game. This is our season. We have everything to play for this year. Our senior night's on Monday. We're not losing tonight.
That's what I said. We figured out ways to win, and that's what they did. And I was not happy with the timeout, but you know what? We work on that. We work on when the ball's on the ground, call timeout. It's just sad that I had to use a couple before that to kind of wake them up and get them going. I used one right before the half, but again, you have to use that one or you lose it. But then I used 2 quick ones. I thought we were kind of just going. I felt like we were hoping to win, like, I hope we win, instead of like, hey, let's go out and take this the second half. And that's something we got to get better with. And like Kai, we beat the press the one time. He goes down. He's unselfish. He tries to make a tough pass to Zach. It goes off his leg and out of bounds. Where he just
take it to the rack.
Just take it to the rack and score.
Yeah.
But it was good. I mean, it's good for those guys. They're learning. They're getting better, and they're fun. They're fun to coach. It's just sometimes I get mad where I feel that we could do better, scouting report stuff of things that we talk about, and that's what we told them in there. Now these next games is you got to play hard, and you got to take things away from people. Okay, but you got to keep playing hard and making those little adjustments. And I promised them, I say we're gonna shorten our practices a little bit, but you guys got to give me the hardest you can go for our short practices. But guys, I'm just telling you, it's hard to practice 3-4 days and have one game. It's just
and
it's
next
harder
week you
than
got
people
3 games next
3
week.
3 games in 5 days. So we're not going to have a lot of time to do a lot of changing. We got to get the rest. We got to keep playing hard. And like you said, that's why I'm so happy with our depth of our bench, because we have that. With Trevor getting in trouble, Quincy came in, did his part. I thought Julian played good for a little while. Austin, I didn't play him tonight. He's been sick all week. He hasn't had 1 day of practice. We decided that we're going to go with Julian, and I thought he did well, especially that first time he got in. And then when he got in the second time, he kind of didn't play as hard. So I put Isaiah back in, and he played hard. Like I said, it's the guys that want to play hard. I keep them in the game, and those 3 guys have changed off every game. It seems like somebody takes it. The good thing is somebody's doing it.
Yeah, we were talking about Isaiah, 28 minutes. That's the second highest minute he's played all year. Because of exactly what you just said.
Yeah, he was
that little reverse from Julian was pretty sneaky. Yeah. That first bucket he had, he can score.
Oh, you get him on the block with the ball, he's going to score. When he's off, he shot that one shot here. It was kind of not a very good shot. And then he had one where he got a charge where he's got to be able to go both ways. He's kind of like to go with that left shoulder, which is fine. But you got to set the guy up going the other way and then come back. But guys, he's getting there. He's getting better and better, and we want him to finish strong. And then next year, we can't wait to see, what he's going to do. But he's come a long way.
How hard is it to defend a team that shoots 29 3-pointers? That had to be a big key before the game for you guys.
We did. We talked about get them off the 3-point line. We kind of left our feet a couple times. The 4 they hit, one of them 33 hit out there about 35 feet away. It was a tough one, but again, we should have got the rebound, and that would have never happened. A couple other ones we broke down. I remember one was the shot clock was at 3 seconds. They throw the ball up to the top to 15. And, let 15 do something instead of letting 33. They throw it over to 33, and Kai fouls him. And it was a questionable, but the guy was smart. He drove it and got a foul out of it where I said, hey, just deny him the ball. Let 15 do something instead of the best player. Some things like that we got to get better with, and that's why I said we got to take things away from teams. But you're right, it's hard to guard guys that shoot the threes like that, but I thought we did a pretty good job. 32 normally, he was 1 for 6 tonight. 33 was 2 for 9. That's pretty good job on those two guys.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Head coach John Judkins, 12 straight, 3 more wins, hanging outright Pac-West Championship banner in the rafters. A lot of basketball to be played between now and then, though.
Yeah.
So.
That's one of our goals. That's one of them. We're going to push for that. But tomorrow, Monday's going to be a special night for our seniors. Like you said, it's going to be tough to replace them. It's going to be a lot of emotions. There's no question about that. And we just got to do a better job. But again, I like it. I like where we're at. I really do. And I think we can get better and better. And these next 3 will be fun to see what we do.
Coach,
Great
congratulations.
job, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Head coach John Judkins and our One League Group coaches' comments. Wanted to have him on a little bit longer. We didn't get any comments from him in the pregame as well. But man, what a win! 69-58, and he goes with. They said Kyler was their impact player tonight, I believe, and I don't know if I can in my right mind really separate Isaiah from that. As I think, as far as we go, we got to split it tonight. That's trucking players of the game. As far as a Les Olson play of the game, you had the wraparound pass from.
I like that pass Quincy hit to Slim for that two-hand slam.
That two-hand slam.
It was so good. The guys in the truck played it 3 times for us at the half. That was pretty sneaky good.
How about the Julian Decree block that led to a transition? I think it was a Kyler Nielsen layup on the other. Just a lot of good plays tonight.
I felt like that Kyler Nielsen corner three. The
really,
timeliness of that really, when it was getting really tight, I thought that one was big. So you got a handful. You could pick any of those plays.
Yeah, absolutely. So just some Les Olson plays of the game tonight. Let's just go with those. And kind of a total team win. Kind of the theme of the night tonight. Your leaders, Trevor, Brandon, struggle a little bit. Who's going to step up? Who's going to help this team win? And it was the team. It was Kyler. It was Isaiah. It was Zach tonight. It was Dub. It was Quincy. It was Tarek Cool coming in and playing
11
a couple
guys
of minutes in the first half. And didn't get a field goal off, but he made a couple of free throws and took advantage of his time out on the floor for a minute. And the Trailblazers win this one 69-58.
Yeah,
Senior night on Monday, and like Coach Judkins said, it's going to be an emotional night. You talk about guys, even for like us.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
We've been calling these guys at games for the last 3-4 years. Trevor Hill, it feels like he never wasn't at Dixie State. Same with Brandon Simmons for even longer because he played
but you think
way back and had the mission and then came back and played 3 more years.
You think back though, and it was like that when Zach Robbins graduated, when Robbie Nelson,
Same
when
way
Money
every year.
Mason, and then when DeQuan Thompson, and then you go back to Tom Whitehead and Dalton Grosskreitz.
Yep.
All these great players that have played for Coach Judkins, and you have so much fun seeing them over their career just blossom into fine student athletes and good people and good young men and tremendous basketball players, and it will be. And Trev and I talked about that, and he said, it's going to be emotional. And then, you harness that energy, and once you get between the lines and go, you try to just get back to doing business. But it'll be interesting to see that first 4 minutes exactly if there's, some tears maybe shed before pregame. It does change things just a little bit, but I have a feeling like they can run that win streak to 13 in front of hopefully a big crowd. We'd love everybody. Text your friends, call your friends, get down here. You got lots of ways to get some tickets. Get them at the gate or get them online or use your Dixie Direct savings guide. Grab some free ones in there. Let's pack the Burns for these 6 seniors
we'll
on
have to
Monday.
make sure we get you hooked up with some tickets to give out, even maybe Monday on the show.
Yeah.
So I guess I forget it's Saturday and game's on Monday, but, pick them up at the gate maybe. But Dixie State wins this one 69-58, and just one home game left, and then it's on the road to Biola on Thursday. First time you're making the trip there, and you want to talk about a trip that's a dangerous game to start that trip. You can't look past to Point Loma because this is a team that, if you look back to those 2 games here, probably should have beat Point Loma, and the way it played out, probably should have lost.
Yeah, we were saying that
to Biola.
Yeah.
And so it's a team that beat Azusa Pacific down there in La Mirada. It's a team that's played a lot of teams tough, and you cannot take them lightly. I know that, Point Loma, I think, is kind of sitting back there waiting. All right, come on, Dixie, come on into, to our gym here. But it's a revenge game for Dixie State, and a lot on the line. And you've got guys like Trevor and Brandon and all these guys that kind of tasted a little bit of the glory in their freshman years. And then since then, they've been oh so close. In the 1 year, a few years ago, if the conference didn't have that wacky rule about the four-way tie, you would have one more banner hanging in here at this time. But, it's been, as far as Dixie State basketball standards go, it's been a minute, and these guys want to hang that banner.
It's special. We were talking to Coach Judkins at the media day before the season about this last trip through the Pac-West Conference with the changing conference in all sports, going to the RMAC, and he talked about how, they steamed in and put up a banner real quickly when they moved to the Pac-West, and how special it would be for their last season to go ahead and put another banner up there and leave their mark on this Pac-West Conference. It's been a tremendous conference to be a part of. They've had a lot of success. They've had some great rivalries over the years, and there's still going to be a few more battles before the season's over. That conference tournament's going to be fantastic, and 3 more regular season games still to come. But this team, you hope they're not peaking at the right time. And you almost like a game like this where you have to grind to find a way. When you win 12 in a row, you've got to find different ways to win. I like what Coach Judkins said about that in our chat. And it'll be a quick turnaround. Off day tomorrow. Maybe watch a little of the Daytona 500, a little of the NBA All-Star game, and then get ready to go back to work on Monday.
Shout out to Donovan Mitchell again. Speaking of that,
I'm going to go home and watch it.
Game, go home and watch it.
Wrap it up.
Got to go wrap it up, get home. I got a bunch of work I got to finish here anyway, so I might as well turn it on while I'm working. So Dixie State wins at 69-58. Appreciate all of you for listening in tonight. As always, I want to give a big shout-out to Ken back in the studio on the radio
Ken.
side. I know it was kind of a little touch and go for a minute getting on the air, so appreciate everything that he did to get us there. And Mike McGarry came and helped out a little bit as well to help get us going on the air, so thanks to them. Big thanks to everybody, FEC TV, getting us on the air, keeping us on the air all night long, and thanks to all of you for listening, watching, however you viewed our content tonight. Dixie State wins 69-58. One more night, one more home broadcast, and that is Monday night at 7:30 approximately after the women's game finishes. That game tips at 5:30. Trailblazers win it. Thanks for listening. For Devin Dixon, I'm Carrick Segmiller. We'll see you Monday one final time inside the Burns Arena. Good night.